You are listening to a Dynamicworksproductions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, and gamer, Tim K. Trotter, as Nate bobs his head like a read-along song in the video chat that none of you can see. And, of course, my lovely Choose Happy co-host, Nate Fu, on the right monitor panel from my viewpoint.
Live from Los Angeles. It's Saturday night.
It's always Saturday night when we record. I'm surprised we have not made that joke, or you've not made that joke before.
Me too.
We're Fork Saturday over here. Yeah, so a lot of shit's happened in the last 2 weeks, a lot of game stuff, a lot of all the things. So without any further babble, we're just gonna spin the ring and we're gonna see where tonight takes us. We have landed in water.
I'm
which
drowning.
I do believe is entertainment.
Oh, that kind of water. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, that kind of water. You've seen some things.
I've seen some things.
Okay. What things have you seen?
Well,
Nate?
it's been a busy couple of weeks because I've had a little more time to watch TV, and I managed to catch up on Prey.
Oh, nice. I watched that as well.
Yeah, the latest entry into the Predator franchise.
Yeah, gotta say, was fucking great.
I really enjoyed it. Like, I've heard some of the critiques of it. Oh, it's like Ewoks with sticks taking down the Empire, and it's like, yeah, okay. And what's the problem with that?
I mean, on paper, it sounds like the dumbest idea for a Predator movie ever.
But in practice,
okay.
Yeah, in practice, it was very, very entertaining. Was the CG
it was really well made?
Yeah, was the CG
Just
a little
really
under budget? Maybe, but again, I don't care that much, right? It was
the only thing that stood out CG wise to me was the Predator ship, obvious, and then the bear.
Oh, the bear was horrible.
That fur was a little something else,
right?
But the Predator itself, I thought, looked great.
He was
the way
mostly
they handled
practical.
the cloaking.
Yeah, he was mostly practical.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, encourage you, Fork fam, to check out Prey, streaming exclusively on Hulu. With talks of, since people say it's so fucking awesome, might get a limited theatrical release. It was a good time.
That would be interesting to see in a theater. So, again,
it was good. It was really good. I totally sounds so stupid on paper, but the actual product that was put forward is easily one of the top Predator films, in my opinion.
Definitely. And I love the couple of callbacks to the.
Oh yeah,
right.
I mean, the callbacks were great.
If it bleeds,
callbacks were great. Well, not to get too spoily into the movie, but when the mud pit showed up,
Oh, right.
super early in the movie, and I was like, winky head nod.
Mm-hmm.
But again, without spoiling things, they pleasantly subverted that expectation.
Yes.
So, you know, yeah, Prey does not have Predator in the title, but it is a Predator movie for sure.
Hmm.
100%. 10 minutes into the film, it's a fucking Predator
Very
movie.
much so.
Straight up. Just in a unique fashion. My wife actually called it uh Predator Assassin's Creed Edition. And she said it'd be fun if they just kept doing Predator movies in different eras. That they're like, yeah, they could do it just like Assassin's Creed. One at the
So
French Civil
are we gonna
War,
get
one
Predator
in
Gladiator?
Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Predator Caveman.
Well, and with how good
Jurassic
Prey
Predator.
is, I was like, why not? Why not? Oh my god. So Prey, great
Yes.
movie.
Great, good movie. Another movie that I finally got the opportunity to see because it was only in theaters, and
Yep.
through nefarious means, I managed to jump on it before it's released on DVD. I finally saw Top Gun Maverick.
Nefarious means, what are you talking about? I bought it on iTunes.
Well, I saw it like 2 weeks ago. I think it released last
Mm,
week or something like
no,
that. Or
no.
no? Oh, okay,
It released Tuesday.
this Tuesday.
Yep, you
Yes,
tipped your hand a little
last
little
week.
too far there.
Last week.
Nope. No.
It's
This
Saturday.
week.
I know. Okay. Semantics. Yes. No, I watched it
Okay.
2 weeks ago, about a week before it actually released.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't pay for it.
Shame.
Shame on me. Yeah.
Specifically the Game of Thrones shame.
Right. A movie that's already grossing more than any other movie isn't worried about my one little viewing on a 10-inch,
Fair.
phone screen.
Sad. But okay.
But yeah, at least I've seen the movie. And again,
Fair.
it's homage to the original
Yeah.
choice. Very, very well done.
Well, not even just the homage, just the connections,
Mhm.
like the threading, the story needle connections, and I've spoken very loudly about, damn, I did not expect to walk out of that theater being like, fuck,
Okay. Yeah.
that movie was so fucking good.
Right? It was like every part Top Gun and a little bit of Iron Eagle thrown in there.
Iron Eagle, I don't know that movie. 'Cause the movie, I think I know which part you're referencing to be a different movie, but for me it was the Owen Wilson film, Behind Enemy Lines.
No, okay. No,
That would be my
another flight
my
movie in that same line. And
okay.
if my elder statesmen that are as gray as I am hear Iron Eagle and they immediately picture Chappie, and
Okay.
yeah, it was an older flight movie.
Okay. Fair enough.
So
Fair enough. Yeah, I actually I watched it for the first time not in theaters yesterday. Actually, had a big to with my folks over, and after blowing the circuit breaker, which fried my Mac.
oh, was that what did
which
it?
I had to fix. Yeah. I'd gotten off work somewhat early and was like, hey, it's not 90 degrees. Today's a good day to see a movie, folks. And they hadn't seen it. And so, yeah, 45 minutes before they came over, I was picking up the place and vacuuming. And I plugged the vacuum into the wrong outlet. So it blew the circuit breaker. Had the Mac that we're recording on now. It was doing something, I don't know, a virus scan or something. But I corrupted the Mac OS and my SSDs with it. So it was some pretty heavy.
Yeah, I got that panic text from you. Like,
Don't unplug shit while you're doing this moment.
Yeah.
And it fucked up pretty royal. But
yeah, getting a message for you on podcast day going, so we may not have a
wood around
machine
me.
to record a podcast on. It's not
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
highlight of my day.
Yeah. But anyway, no, I had them over yesterday. We watched again. It was interesting because my mom, I probably get my love of movies from my mom. I probably get a lot of stuff from my mom actually. But like I've never seen her like hold her breath and like use her hand like on her chest on so many moments in that film. So that was a nice little reaction, because she doesn't usually give that big a reaction to stuff,
Right.
because she's seen it all at this point. And my dad was so funny, because he's somewhat picky on his films, but he had a good reaction to it. And the whole time, right, like, we're talking about like how little CGI there is in this film. Um, and like he's just like, yeah, but it wasn't until like it was so funny. Like at the end of the film's credits roll, like, oh, what did you think, Dad? And he's like, oh, it was pretty good. And then he wanted to watch the special features. And like we watched all the fucking special features, and then he's like, I've changed my opinion. There wasn't really a lot of CGI in that film. It was really good. Good for them building all these cameras and doing all these fucking insane trainings and things and stuff that they did for this film. I just thought that was so funny, because it's like, cool. I'm glad that you understood it, even though I've been communicating that to you, that was kind of the special hook of this film.
Right.
Thanks for not listening to me, but when the special features told you, you're good.
Yeah.
But it was a good time. So, so I'm assuming you enjoyed the film.
Very much so. Yeah. I like the retelling. I like the continuation. I like the inclusion and cameos. The only character that really kind of got on my nerves was the new Iceman, for lack of a better term. He was a little grating.
Sure. Well, but that had to be there, right?
He did, but he didn't have to be that on the nose to the point where it was almost a caricature.
I mean, man's name was Hangman, so
right?
What's he gonna do? Well, if it makes you feel any better, on his actual training in the planes, he was the one who threw up the most.
Good.
And who couldn't hold his lunch in reality. So there you go. All right, Nate, what else did you see this week?
I actually,
the last
literally
period of
right before we went on the air, finished episode 2 of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
Nice. Yeah, we are caught up on She-Hulk as well.
I was like, I've seen She-Hulk, and I'm like, wait, it's Saturday. Episodes come out Thursday. What time do I have? How long is the episode? 30 minutes. It's 8:28.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes.
Yes.
Nice. Right on. Now, episode discussion aside, did you catch the 2 ginormous Easter eggs?
No.
Okay. It's funny because they were in literally the same shot. So in episode 2, fucking slight spoiler alert, folks, for MCU shit. When she's looking for a job and she's got the news ad open or whatever, for about 3 seconds, 5 seconds, she's looking at a page, she's talking to her friend or whatever, and it shows her computer screen. And on the front page of this news article was talking about, you've seen Eternals, right?
No.
Oh.
Which might be why I missed the Easter egg.
Okay. Anyways, you should probably see Eternals, Nate.
Yes.
It's on Disney Plus. But anyway, there's a thing that happens in Eternals that kind of literally changes the face of planet Earth in a literal, physical fashion.
Okay.
And all the MCU people, because Eternals came out fucking years ago at this point, everybody's like, anybody gonna mention? Anyone gonna mention this really giant fucking elephant in the room in any other Marvel property at all? Because they did a thing.
Right.
And, not mentioned in Shang-Chi, not mentioned in Ms. Marvel, not mentioned in WandaVision, not mentioned in Loki, not mentioned in any of the fucking shit. And it's like, it's a big thing. Somebody fucking talk about it. And it was finally talked about in a, 11 o'clock news type fashion. But then to the right of that, in a small column, shut up, watch, was breaking news: man with metal claws in bar fight.
I did not see that either.
I beg your pardon, are we dropping the first MCU mention of Wolverine here? Come on now.
No, they're talking about a man with metal claws.
Well, you know what my wife said, and I love her, and I'm sorry, wife, if you listen to this or walk in on me right now. I was like, oh, you know what that means? We had to back it up and pause because I caught it right away. And she's like, Dr. Octopus? And I was like, Metal Claws. She stares at me. I was like, Wolverine. She's like, oh. I was like, fucking Christ.
Why? But that seems to be the order of this week, or at least the past few days, is you and her getting into philosophical
We're fine
debates
for
on
the record. It's not like the past, many moons have been, but we got into a spat that I spatted over the Discord and even reached out to a friend of the show, person who's written more things than me, Greg Smith, on. And so let's let's preface this. So this is firmly in the entertainment category. We were talking about books, and she has bookshelves and bookshelves and bookshelves of books. The kind of bookshelves that have there's 3 books deep into the bookshelf because there's no more fucking room on these bookshelves, right? And we were talking about something. I don't even remember what we were talking about. And then she said, something.
It's in the Discord.
It's not like it's not like it's Harry Potter, which is low fantasy.
Right.
And I looked at her and I said, what the fuck is low fantasy? And what are you talking about? And she's like, well, anything that's high fantasy are things that don't take place on Earth and have their own languages and stuff. And I was like, and you're just dictating what is and isn't high fantasy now? Is this what's happening? And then I was like, because there's other languages in Harry Potter, so what? Just because it takes place on Earth, that suddenly excludes it?
What, you don't walk in the room and say Lumos?
I'm scared to program anything into Alexa because she already listens enough as it is.
It doesn't work with Alexa, believe me, I've tried. It does with Google, though.
I'm sure I could program it into my Apple HomeKit.
Yeah. Yeah, for all you nerds out there, if you open up your Google Assistant on your phone and say Lumos, the flashlight will turn on. And Knox will turn it off.
That's great, actually.
That is.
That's pretty great. So we got into this fucking thing of so where I stand, I want to preface this by where I stand firmly on these things. So it is my opinion, quotation marks, opinion, thoroughly labeled as such, that there are only 3 genres of mediums. I say that while fully aware that people have their own subgenres and people have other things. And then, of course, societal norms, if you walk into a bookstore, there would be many genres to hand. I don't personally agree with that, but I'm just stating that thoroughly as such. Because she was throwing all these fucking weird ass subgenres at me that I've never fucking heard of low fantasy before.
Right.
And I'm a skosh handful of years older than her, and I'm like, I feel like I would have at least heard of that one.
I've heard the term high fantasy, but I've never had it defined to me. And again, not being very well read in terms of entertainment literature, I never bothered. Okay, you want to call it high fantasy? I don't
see.
Call it smut erotica. I don't care.
My impression of high fantasy, at least what my internal definition over just living and picking up stuff from the street, are things like Lord of the Rings and Shannara Chronicles and Game of Thrones and stuff like that are considered quote unquote high fantasy.
Versus regular fantasy?
I guess.
Wait, okay.
And I'm like, and for me, who I feel like you can break anything down into only 3 genres, and that is fiction, nonfiction, and science fiction.
Okay.
Right. So nonfiction, right, would be all your historicals, textbooks, etc. Fiction would be, all of, like things like your romance novels and Riverdale and etc. And then you've got, science fiction, which would include, you know, fantasy and other elements and stuff. I feel like you can just break it down more simply that way. It's just my opinion, thoroughly labeled as such. Don't have to agree with me.
Okay. All right.
My wife doesn't agree with
You're
me.
allowed to be wrong.
Yeah, that's what she said too. And I actually conferred with Greg Smith about this, and he had two very hilarious responses. Number one was like, "Well, you can take it this way, which is it doesn't matter because your wife is right."
I think I said something to that same effect in the Discord.
Yeah. I think you did. And then his second response, which I found much more funny, was like, he's like, "Or you can bust into the room and just be like, huh, I didn't know you were married." I was like, damn, that's savage. And he's like, your call.
Right.
It's like, fair enough. It's pretty solid response in my opinion. So of course I used both like an idiot.
Of course. Rookie.
But I still, yeah, okay, fine. But yeah, no, I just don't agree. Like, I'd be like, I got really semantic-y.
Well, sure. I mean,
her.
you distilled it down to, well, this book could be one of two things. It could either be dry or wet. It's one or the other.
Pretty much, yeah. And then she tried to argue with me because she was saying her definition of high fantasy was things that don't take place on Earth and have other languages. And I was like, okay, so Star Trek is high fantasy then? And then she's like, well, no, not like that. Like real languages. I was like, I'm pretty sure you can fucking learn Klingon in some colleges. So you're barking down a path here where I've got lots of ammunition, lady. So anyway. So where do you stand on this topic of genre?
I don't. I
defined by you as a person. Like, do you just generally agree with societal norms? Do you have some philosophic breakdown into three categories like myself, or do you like?
No, because the last time I tried to define something as science fiction, and it was Star Wars, I was soundly debunked and purely defined as a space fantasy opera.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
And then of course we had was it Burning Wing that said basically Harry Potter is Star Wars with worse lightsabers,
which I feel is a terrible analogy.
Oh, there's a whole comedic skit where someone goes through and breaks it down moment by moment. And
really,
yeah, and it's very amusing to listen to because he basically flops back and forth between the two. If I find a link for it, I'll send it to you and you can watch it.
Yeah, you'll have to find a link for that. Yeah, because I'd like to see that breaking down because I can see some parallels, just like there's parallels to anything.
A lot of parallels,
right?
But yeah.
Well, I attended this class once that broke down Star Wars as being like the death of like thinking man's fantasy sci-fi fiction, because all Star Wars does is follows, I can't remember the fucking author, but the author's guide for how to write the hero's journey in 3 acts or something like that. And I was like, okay, I see what they're saying from a literary historical
and again, they're distilling it down to this barest point, which is kind of what you're doing. And while it may not be wrong, it doesn't make it any less entertaining.
Sure.
Right. So both things can be true. It can be just a rote regurgitation of the hero's journey in 3 acts, but it's told in a way that's visually pleasing. It's memorable. It's quotable. I had a good time watching it. I didn't feel like I wasted my money. So
yeah.
Great. Be boring and follow the pattern, follow the formula. and make a good movie. I still like the Lethal Weapon series, and that's very,
I
you know,
like Lethal Weapon as
right,
well.
but it's very much on the rails writing of your typical action flick.
Yeah.
I don't know where you stand on the whole Fast and Furious franchise.
I So it's funny because I've heard a lot of people say, because I've enjoyed all of the current live action Transformers films,
Hmm.
that it was shocking to them that I have seen, I don't remember, I have seen Fast and Furious 1, Too Fast, Too Furious,
Mm,
and I've seen Tokyo Drift,
okay,
because those are what's on when you're and during the drinking days, going to
sure,
parties,
and
and everybody's got a
and
DVD copy,
having
and that's
seen
always
most of them
running in the
except the
background.
last one, I would argue with you those were the setup films. Those aren't even really franchise, because it got to a point where once they found the formula that they wanted to
Sure.
run with, basically from 4 on, when, suspend your disbelief, when car stunts became
Yeah,
unpractical.
I've heard the Google argument of, aren't fast films just superhero films at this point
Yes.
or something? I don't know.
Yeah, no, and
I've
very
never
much
seen
so,
them.
but so
So, I don't
I'm
know.
never gonna yuck someone else's yum, and, I don't you wanna if I'm reading a Star Wars books and you go, "Oh, you're reading a fantasy book," I'm gonna be like, "No, it's science fiction." I don't care, it entertains me.
Fair
So,
enough. Um,
but yeah, back to She-Hulk, since we were
oh
watching that.
yeah, thank you. I was like, where are we at? I've paddled off into the dark ocean.
Yes, I have a giant green background, so it was, like, fresh on the mind here. Like,
Oh,
green,
okay.
green, green. Oh, Hulk, right.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I would disappear into my own,
So yeah, so
transparency.
what's your take on She-Hulk?
I like it, it's fun, and it's fun, it's funny. I love I was not expecting them to jump right into, I don't know if we're being spoilery from a episode that dropped on Thursday, but yeah,
I feel like there's only 2 episodes out. She-Hulk's gonna have a longer run
mhm,
than pretty much all of the other Marvel shows. I think they're getting, like, 14 episodes or something like that.
sure. And they're only a half
Um,
hour. They're
and
literally,
yeah,
and
and
they're
they're
not
they're
even,
only
that's with credits and intros and
sure.
foreign credits even, 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah,
And
I would
I
s
don't even know where this character, if this character is going to even be, if this was a one-off, because the way it ended,
which character?
the one they introduced in this episode, second episode,
Oh, the 2nd episode.
Tim Roth.
Oh, no, I don't think he's a one-off. Because it's his reintroduction, because he was technically in The Incredible Hulk
Right.
way back in
Yeah,
2000.
the
Well,
non-Ruffalo
it
one.
is
Yeah,
now, because they literally addressed it, which
right.
I found hilariously satisfying with Mark Ruffalo's uh Hulk being like, "Yeah, that was so long ago. I'm like a literal like I'm like another
Totally
person."
another person now. Yeah,
Literally.
literally.
And I'm like, "Yes. Thank you for acknowledging that film's
Right.
existence." Because I think the only other time was the first Avengers film, where he talked about being back in New York and he didn't want to break Harlem again.
Mhm.
And I think that was it. That was the only thing
Right.
that was mentioned.
Yeah, and they
Um,
kind of tongue in cheek this one is like, you didn't destroy a city,
yeah,
right? When she's like, I feel
yeah,
bad.
very true.
Yeah, well, you didn't destroy a city, even though he's done that in quite a few Marvel films at this point,
Yeah, yeah. Some not even on Earth.
right?
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think
But it's done cheekily, and I like where they're going with it. She's not, another raw Hulk smash, but
sure, right. And like I think it's really strange right now what's happening in the media with it, because I've seen that there's this weird backlash against it for being uh a female version of Hulk. And then there's like this weird, because like I think it got review bombed by the first day or something, like saying like it was like a woke piece of garbage by 30 something males or something. And then there was like an article about it, and there was like a whole thing. And I've seen some other people that do reviews and commentaries on this sort of thing, and even some of them, I was shocked to hear that they were like more critical on it for being like woke, quote unquote. We've had a whole fucking episode about that on
Mhm.
this show, and so I was rather shocked because like She-Hulk has been around for a long time.
Right.
She was created by Stan Lee. A lot of people like forget this. And her origin in the MCU version is pretty minorly altered from the original comic book
Mhm.
origin. And so I'm just like they're pretty close to the comic in my opinion on this one. They've MCU'd it up, sure,
Yeah.
but like I don't feel like they went out of their way to purposely, okay, we have to have a female Hulk, because it doesn't feel forced. And perhaps my perspective on that is skewed from the fact that there's already pre-standing history for a She-Hulk, just like there's a Spider-Woman and a bunch of female spider people in the Marvel universe. And it just seems strange to me that She-Hulk, being as good as it is and as wittily written as it is, that there's just this strange backlash from it. Like for me, like
No,
I
I
understood the
kind of understand where it's coming from to the point where it almost feels pandery,
sure,
right? Because they're constantly focusing on the, I only got this job because of this, right? And they rewrote it, or twisted it, I only got this job because I'm a mutant. Whereas the normal
sure,
narrative is I only got this job because of whatever, right? And
yeah, whatever, because I'm their diversity hire or
right,
because I'm sexy or whatever,
right.
right? And I like that they're playing with that with She-Hulk.
Well, I think you kind of
And
have to.
well,
So
I
that's why
liked.
I don't really knock it, because it's like, yeah, it does pander a little bit, but you kind of have to, right? The fact that
Well,
they poke fun at, of course, it had to be She-Hulk, right?
mhm,
I can't even get away from, I'm derivative of Hulk.
sure. But I like that it's done in this 30-minute comedy
Hmm.
slice of life style, and that's something A, we haven't seen in the MCU, and B, I feel like this is so far, obviously it could go horribly wrong with many, many more episodes to come.
Hmm.
But so far, 2 episodes in, I feel like this is the most cohesive show so far
Hmm.
for an MCU offering, because that's been my problem so far with some of the other shows that have had roller coaster of quality. Like I really liked uh Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Yes.
but holy shit was it all over the place. You know?
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
Same, I've already said before, I actually liked Miss Marvel by the time I got to the end because it was fucking all over the place.
Right. I
Wand
thought
Wanda
Hawkeye held together pretty well.
I feel Hawkeye had not necessarily an all over the place problem like some of the other MCU projects or MCU TV projects, but it had a pacing problem, I thought,
Okay.
personally. I thought the pacing, they rocketed right off with the start and stuff,
Sure. Sure.
introducing
And again,
uh
so we're holding
yeah.
judgment on She-Hulk because we're 2 episodes in. It
Sure.
could have that same issue somewhere down the line, but so far, solid 2.
Yeah, I mean, I just think so far either the team that's putting it together production wise is better at it,
Mhm.
or um because of where it's been released and probably when it was produced, the kinks that we saw in some of the earlier series, maybe they finally fucking figured out how to work those out in TV. Because unlike the movies, which have largely been mega hit after mega hit, I don't feel the same for their TV offerings. You know, you can see that they're produced with a higher quality than, say, something on a CW or something, but
Mhm.
their cohesiveness and consistency, they keep trying to do this 6 episode, it's like a long movie kind of thing, and I don't think that works for an MCU TV show.
I
Like,
don't think
that's
it works
something.
for any TV show, but we've been around that
Yeah.
argument plenty of times.
Well, and I feel like that's why WandaVision actually did a lot better, was because they had more episodes, they were able to do more stuff. It itself was a half-hour show,
Mhm.
right? Wasn't it a half hour? Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure WandaVision was a half hour. But they were able to use that to their advantage, which is the advantage you need to take if you're going to do TV.
Right.
Like, take the advantage of the 10 episode, the 13 episode, whatever, you know, whether it's 30-minute show or an hour show, and use that to massage it into a terrific season. Like doing these weird abbreviated 6 hour long movie cut as a TV show thing
And here's
doesn't
what's
work.
funny. If you do 6 1-hour episodes or 13 30-minute episodes, you know, the math basically almost works out the same,
Okay, fine, nerd. But
right? But
like,
you can pace it better. You can
yeah,
cliffhanger it better. It's easier to consume a half-hour episode. Like, again, I looked at the clock and went,
sure.
"Oh, can I squeeze in She-Hulk a half hour
Yeah,
before my podcast?" Yes, I
yeah.
can. Had it been a 58-minute episode of Westworld, I've been like, well, crap, I don't have an hour to sit down and watch this.
Well, and I think the fact that it's a comedy,
Mhm.
and comedies, this is just my opinion, like they just work better
In that
as
short
a
format.
30
Yeah,
minute
I'd agree.
form.
I would agree with
You
that.
know, and the second you break over 30, with the rare exception of some comedy movies, like
Well, that's a
you start to
movie.
lose
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a
You
movie
know,
at that point. You're already in for, you're there to sit for an hour and a
yeah,
half, 2 hours.
I understand, but I'm just saying comedy I feel works better as 30.
Sure.
She-Hulk is a comedy through and through,
Oh, did you
or a
notice? And
dramedy, if you will.
I might be showing my age on this one. Her father. You recognize the actor?
I feel like I should have,
Mark Lynn
but I did
Baker,
not.
cousin Larry from Perfect Strangers.
I did not see that.
Ah, okay.
Sorry.
Do you remember Perfect
Sorry.
Strangers? Belky Bartakamus? Showing my age. Gotcha. As he sips on his Corona fizzy seltzer.
Look, man, we've been over the seltzer stuff. I'm allergic to so many things. I can only enjoy so many alcoholic
Hey,
things
when you give
without
me
this happening.
right,
Okay.
yeah, I wasn't going to
So,
comment on the elephant on your cheek in the room.
yeah, it's fine. For those listening at home, Tim has a obnoxious red bump
Mhm.
that is the size of my nose protruding out from my cheek because Friday was a fuck it day and I had donuts yesterday.
Yeah.
Real wheat filled, delicious donuts.
It's one of the reasons I avoid consuming appreciable amounts of milk chocolate is I break out like a teenager.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's oddly specific that you'd break out over milk chocolate. Is it the milk or the chocolate?
I don't know because like if I
'Cause it's like,
do like the fancy, 78% and above cacaos, like the dark
oh
chocolate
yeah.
bars, like no problem. But, give me, Reese's peanut butter cups and Lord knows you can't eat just one of those.
Well, they come as a set,
Right. But
unless
no,
you're
like, yeah,
getting the
well, in
Halloween.
the Halloween ones, it's like I'll just
Yeah.
have one handful
Huh.
bag.
Yeah.
Um or you get the one boss. I had a manager that kept a candy dish on his desk and it was
Mm.
just like, well, okay, I'll just have that one Kit Kat and the Twix and the Mr. Good. And the next day I come in, I'm
I
like,
was
oh
I
my
was like,
God,
everything
I'm
except the
broken. I
Mr.
feel
Good
like I'm
bar are
16
all
again.
dual candy bars.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
But yeah, no, it was funny because I was recently looking up something as because I get these things on my Facebook feed every now and then, or
Mhm.
actors, what are they up to now, right?
Mm. Yeah, I get sucked into things like that.
Right, and I always find them entertaining because I'm the
Me
same
too.
age as a lot of these people,
Mm.
and I grew up watching these shows. So one of them recently was Bronson Pinchot and Mark Lynn Baker. Like, where are they now? And it's Bronson Pinchot had a pretty good career in the 80s, and then kind of disappeared. But Mark Lynn Baker was just like one and done.
Mhm.
And the article basically said as much. It was like, yeah, he did the show and he's done a couple of, one-offs here and there, but he basically stays quiet in Hollywood. And then, of course, I'm watching tonight's episode. I'm like, dude, it's Cousin Larry.
While I don't have a fucking clue on any of those things you're talking about, I can appreciate that there's history behind the actors
Mhm.
and things that you grew up loving and liking, and that they're showing up in different forms here. My question to you regarding She-Hulk, though, is: have you been sticking around for after the credits?
I have. Has there been anything? Because I've been like, I fast forward and I go, okay, no, if something pops up, I'll pause it.
Mm. I don't remember what was in episode 1, but, episode 2 was just a hilarious thing of like, "Hey, can you go She-Hulk? I need to mount a TV. Hey, can you I need my car lift," and it's just her doing household
Oh, I thought that was just the end of the
chores
episode. Yeah, it was
for
hanging the
her.
TV, bringing in the water bottles.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
that
was
was
like,
after
"That's
credit.
great."
Oh, I
It
guess, yeah,
was.
because they do the title right at the very end there.
Mid-credits,
Yeah,
whatever the fuck you wanna call it. It's a Marvel property, it's an after credits.
yeah.
Everybody shut the fuck up. Um, I just thought that was very funny, and I was like, "Yeah, I dig seeing this ridiculously high budget CGI character doing
Menial tasks.
normal
Yeah.
ass shit."
Which tell me you wouldn't do that if you suddenly had a 6'7" strong woman that could do all these
That's
things, right?
that's true. Speaking of 6'7", a woman. So I read an interesting article on the production of the show, because Tatiana Maslany is not
She's
a
like
tall
five
person.
six, if I'm not
Yeah, she's
mistaken.
she's just like a normal average woman height.
Hmm.
So apart from her being in, mocap gear and the the stick out the back of her back with the chrome ball that people have to look at for eye lines and stuff for CGI characters, apparently when they were blocking the scenes, they hired a real like Amazonian 6 foot, specifically 6'7" woman
Hmm.
to block the scene with her and show her how she would need to move
Sure.
through the physical environment. And I thought that was such an interestingly, specifically fascinating move for how they approached doing the She-Hulk, because she's not the same size as Hulk.
Hmm.
Hulk is a big fucking thing, and you have no real world. You can't hire a dude to like, all
Right.
right,
Like
this is how I move through
you
the
could bring
room.
Brock Lesnar in or some,
You know,
professional wrestler or whatnot and have him come in and go, you're going to approximate at that point.
sure,
But to be able to bring in someone that is actually 6'7",
yeah, I thought
and
that was pretty
there
cool,
are not a lot of them,
actually.
but they do
Yeah,
exist.
yeah, I just thought that was an interesting
Yeah.
change to how they produced the
Right.
special
What is
effect
it?
that is
Peter
She-Hulk.
Gunn's brother is always the on-set stand-in for Rocket.
Oh, you mean James Gunn?
Yes. Is it James Gunn? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's
And
James Gunn.
his brother Seth, is it? Or Sean?
Sean Gunn,
Sean
yes.
Gunn, yeah. Is
Yeah,
the it is that same. He's the blocking character for scenes with Rocket, so
yeah, which is funny because Sean Gunn's not a short
no, he's
person.
not.
No, he also does Groot as well.
Yeah.
So he does both. He does both the motion capture work for that. And he's the character Kraglin
Yes, he's actually in the
in the show. And for those who really deep cut, fuck, I can't remember his name, but he was the weirdo in Gilmore Girls,
Mhm.
who was always doing some fucking weird ass shit.
He's very recognizable in an unrecognizable sort of way.
Yes, that's a great way of putting it, actually. That's a great way of putting it. Um, yeah, so let's see. There was She-Hulk. I'm enjoying the shit out of it. You're apparently enjoying it.
Mhm.
What other ventures into the media realm did you partake in
I
in
think
between podcasts?
those were the three
Those
big
were the
ones.
three.
Obviously,
Okay.
you did a Transformers throwback gif, and I appreciated that one.
You know what was dumb about that? So I was trying to find a fucking image. For those who are not on our Discord, and you should be, Fork fam. It's open to all you lovelies out there. when I was discording the Fork fam about this genre shit with my wife, Nate posted.
Of course, he tags me in it, like, "Hey, come
Yeah,
referee an
I
argument
tagged
between
several
myself and
people.
my wife."
Yeah.
What was my response? I'm staying out of it.
Yeah, I'm staying out of it. And then I was just like,
You failed me yet again, Nate Fu.
Yeah, he failed me yet again, Nate Fu. Of course, Megatron to Starscream.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so I thought it was going to be really easy, right? So at first I was like, oh, GIF will have this. And I was like, GIF really not
pulling
really,
up a whole
your
lot on that
algorithm
one.
is not working for me on this. And so then finally I went to the fucking image, and the only image I could find was from the 2007 movie. And I was like, nah, we got to go older with Nate.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it would be easy, and I typed in G1 Megatron. But God, could I find an image that wasn't lower than 800 by 600?
No, you couldn't.
No. And then finally I did, and I was like,
And it's
okay,
the
now
toy,
I can make
yeah.
a meme. Now I can make a meme. Is it the toy? What did I end up doing? I don't remember.
Yeah, that is very definitely the toy.
Oh,
You can
yeah,
tell by the articulating joints.
Yeah,
But no, but I
true.
appreciated that one. Again, you hit me right in the age, the old bone.
Well, it felt appropriate.
Yes. That's how you
yeah,
appropriately pick on an old man.
Yeah, let's see. So Prey,
Top Gun, She-Hulk. I believe we already closed out. We closed out Westworld last episode.
Did we?
Yes.
No, because that was last week.
2 weeks ago.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I believe.
I guess it was, because the following Sunday from Westworld's finale was the other Game of Thrones show.
Yes, which I have not started watching yet.
We just watched it before the show tonight.
What do you think of it? Okay. That's the general take I'm hearing from a lot of my friends that were big fans of Game of Thrones, and even from some that
did you watch Game of Thrones?
I did.
Okay.
I watched the first 3 seasons and the last one.
And there's okay, that's an odd skip, but okay.
it became my wife's comfort food show. So after I fell asleep, she would watch episodes. So I'd wake up and it'd be like, oh, okay, it's season 5, episode 4. And then the next time I'd wake up, it's season 7, episode 2.
Okay.
So,
well,
but I was saying that friends of mine that did not like Game of Thrones have even said it's decent. It's okay.
I mean, it's Game of Thrones again.
It's high fantasy.
It's you not program a fucking button of you just saying it's high fantasy.
I think we found the episode title.
Oh God. Shit's the episode title. It's high fucking fantasy. Oh God. So we watched it. I wasn't prepared for it to be an like an hour and 40 pilot episode.
Okay.
I did not expect that going into it. Because I hadn't really heard too much about it, other than it was the one Game of Thrones spinoff that survived the weird, because they made like 5 spinoffs and they shot pilots for all of them, and then HBO killed all of them except for this one.
Right.
The show has some interesting talent behind it. Ryan, you piece of shit. Shut up.
What's with all the rookie moves tonight, man?
I have everything else off except for the thing that hopefully will be off in 2 minutes. Ryan Coolidge, whatever his name is, Ryan Condal, I think is his name.
I'm sure it's a Google search away.
Sure, he's in the after credits, behind the scenes shit that they do on HBO. So he's show running this particular Game of Thrones project. He previously did a show that I loved called Colony. That had Jesus Christ. I'm failing all of the things right now. I'm just gonna fucking go to IMDb.
It's okay. See, this is you have the power to edit this if you want to mark space it
And
now.
I'm not gonna. So here we go. He previously did a show called Colony that starred actor Josh Holloway, who we know as Sawyer from Lost, and Sarah Wayne Callis, who was the wife to Rick Grimes in Walking Dead, and then, of course, was in Prison Break. It's a cool show. It's about an alien occupation of Earth. It was great. It lasted 3 seasons, and then right as it was getting truly awesome, it got canceled.
Oh,
Like
okay.
all things.
That's Firefly.
Yeah, it was on a weird network for a sci-fi show. It was on the USA.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it was particularly partial to the last season since it took place in Seattle, and they actually did it some justice. But yeah, it was a fantastic show. So I can see why he got the showrunner thing for Game of Thrones, because it was all like politics and different factions and groups betraying each other and stuff while an alien occupation's happening, mind you. So it's like that kind of stuff, and I was like, okay, yeah, you just lift that off and then coat it in medieval shit and add a dragon or two, and then you've got Game of Thrones House of the Dragon. Um
Oh, wait, are you saying they did a show to form, like what we were
a
talking about
show
earlier?
to form.
Yes. Basically,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, it feels like a Game of Thrones thing.
Yeah.
Raymond
Upsides I've been hearing is that whole book series is completely done, so there's not going to be any, from what I hear, there's not going to be any deviation. If you've already read the stories, you know what you're in for.
my understanding is this is based off of one
Or story, yeah.
book
Mhm.
that was a prequel that was done. And it's set 175 years before the first episode of Game of Thrones.
Correct.
So even if there is, it won't matter.
Right. This isn't like
by the
this isn't like the Solo movie where it's like, well, you can't really break too far from form there. You
sure.
right. Too close
Um,
to established source material.
Yeah, and there's a thing that adds some gravitas and also connection to the original series.
Mhm.
By the end of the pilot episode, that's kind of nice. I don't know. It's more Game of Thrones, new
Sure.
cast, same fucking town, more dragons.
Sure.
That's basically what it is.
If you're a fan
Which
of the
is fine.
franchise, you're probably going
Which
to
is
like
fine
this.
if you want people fucking backstabbing each other and weird sex stuff and dragons.
Oh, so they're back
This
to
is
the
the
sex
show
stuff.
for you.
That was one thing, I didn't mention this before, but like this last season of Westworld was largely devoid of any like sexuality, and it was weird almost.
I was trying to remember what sexuality there was in the 3rd season.
Right. It started getting away
To be
from it, but
honest.
yeah, they were like, okay, here's a boob. You know,
Sure.
none of that in the last season.
I mean,
And it was
do
almost
you need
jarring. No, you don't. But it was
I don't
almost
need it.
jarring when you're used to it constantly being there like, there's a boob.
Hmm.
And then like you see the opening, whatever, the parental guidance thing.
Mm.
And I'm used oh, okay. N for nudity, N for nudity, and this one is like, no, adult content. I'm like, okay, cool. And I don't miss it. It was just weird.
Well, if you want weird sex
don't.
shit and people getting decapitated in super ultra violent, gory depictions, new Game of Thrones House of Dragons for you.
Cool.
And audio is going to get better in 5, 4, 3, 2. There we go. For those listening at home, my RAID array has just been shut off because it finally fucking transferred to the appropriate SSD, so that I can edit the show later.
Hopefully.
Yeah, assuming this recording is even working right now, which is
Well, mine
who
is.
knows?
All right. So
Yeah,
we at least
well,
know
okay.
we'll have a recording.
And one of us will sound good, and one of us will sound bad. And whoever sounds bad, that's
You
how
know,
you know
like
whose
you
version
actually
you have.
don't sound bad on my copies of episodes.
Yeah, but there's
I
a certain
understand.
warmth
Yes.
that comes out of this microphone that I've been speaking into for well over a decade now. you know,
that most of our
that's
audience probably won't even
oh my god, you fucking savage.
notice. Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't know. Audience, you can write in us at do we have an email? I don't know.
2 W's at
we have
dynamicworksproduction.com.
we have a fucking Discord, we have a Twitter. It's 2022. Fucking Google, for Christ's sakes.
Slide into those DMs and let him know.
Yeah, we watched House of Dragon. It was fine. I guess there's another episode tomorrow, and I guess we're gonna watch it.
Okay.
Jessica seemed to enjoy it. Sure. Um, looks like Game of Thrones. Looks a little more CGI heavy than Game of Thrones. The previous stuff did, because they're, you know, the city's bigger, so they got to do set extensions, and there's more dragons, which is fine.
Mhm.
But the big win is they had Raymond Djawad, the original series composer, also composer of Westworld and 1,000 other things that are great. He returned for this series, so the music is on fucking point,
Good.
as usual, because he's fucking fantastic. Let's see, we also checked out the first episode of the final season of C, starring Jason Momoa and others. And it's off to a pretty rip-roaring start, so I'm pretty stoked for that. A little sad that it's gonna close out, but at least they'll get to like wrap it up, hypothetically.
Sure.
And it won't just fucking end and
Right.
be just leave you hanging or whatever. Anything else watched? No, I think that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Pretty much it. And those are the things that we're talking about, because I don't need to talk about MasterChef. MasterChef. It's pretty good. Ring. Spin. Do it.
Do it.
We have landed on air.
Entertainment?
No, water was entertainment. So
Sorry,
air
tech.
is tech. Is there
No,
tech?
that's Earth.
No.
Video
How dare
games.
you fail me?
Video games.
Video games. Okay, there's a lot to talk about there. To each his own. Well, so we're on video games.
We are on video games.
Before we move on to the substantial amount of news,
Oh, gosh.
what you been playing, Nate? Because you've probably had some time to play now.
You'd think. I did recently.
I try to think for you, man.
But I had one weekend I could really play because I was trying to get reacclimated to night shift, so I ended up pulling an all-nighter and catching up on the latest Destiny season drop, which is pirate themed. Yar. And it's quite fun. The new grind event is literally, you know, clearing out the whole of your ship and then man canning over to your enemy ship and then clearing it out, beating the captain in his quarters and collecting his booty.
Yeah. Warframe had it 2 years ago.
What had it?
Warframe had it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know,
So
the old game mode from Warframe.
Yep. They are taking something that works and they're putting their Destiny twist on it. It's been quite fun.
Would it shock you to know that I played Destiny this week?
It would not shock me.
It wouldn't? Why not?
No, because I see when the pop-ups pop up and I see what you're playing.
Okay,
Remember, I do have
okay.
the Xbox app and I was like, huh, okay.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
what prompted you to jump back in?
Well, as has been talked about, our one and only fork moderator, Daniel,
Mhm.
was his last playing day in this state
Yes.
last Tuesday, and all the Destiny stuff happened. I did actually watch all the Destiny stuff, so
okay.
I'm in the loop on the Bungie Vidoc stream, although I don't think it was called a Vidoc.
No. The Lightfall
and
reveal.
the last bit of thing of that stream was like, oh, by the way, all of the shit right now is free for people who never purchased it. And I told
Yes, for a week.
Yeah, not a long amount of time. And Daniel was like, "I never bought the Witch Queen. You want to play
Fucking
Witch
yeah.
Queen?" And I was like, "Sure."
Sure. Did you play the
So,
legendary campaign?
so what did the fucker do? He started on a legendary, which doesn't start at the beginning of the story. I might add. Um, it doesn't. Um, and I said, "You stupid fucking idiot! If neither of us have played Destiny in a long time, we're not light level to do any of this. What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Oh, except that it didn't matter because they artificially elevated and capped you at the same time.
Well, it mattered when we played because they were all red question mark enemies that we couldn't
Yes,
damage.
by design.
And so I sat my controller down and ate my dinner. And then Daniel's like, "Why aren't you helping me?" I was like, "I'll help you when you change the fucking mode."
No,
This is not
I
fun
did
for
love
me.
that was one of the things I loved about Witch Queen was that legendary campaign because you
Yeah,
will
I've heard it.
accelerate your arbitrary, strength, power level, whatever they want to call it, in future iterations.
Sure.
And it was just the right amount of challenge. It was like it was a total throwback to the Halo Legendary campaign days.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I've heard.
So, but yeah, I got to play a little bit of the new season on that. I played a day, managed to get all of the weekly story beats done, which really, even at someone of my caliber of gaming, only took an hour and a half,
Hmm.
start to finish.
Well, that's
So
good.
yeah, you could really knock that out in a session, and then and I'm looking forward to hopefully finding the time to. I'll probably squeeze in after the podcast tonight.
That's fine.
Actually, no, I'm
Yes.
done for the week. I can't do
Oh,
that.
okay then.
I'm not jumping in the raid alone.
Uh, um, yeah. So we played past where people who didn't purchase the Witch Queen, because you could play a certain amount of missions, and I
Hmm.
played those missions way back when it came out. Wasn't impressed myself. Just felt too taken kingy again for me.
Sure, by design.
Um, and I understand that, and that's what they were going for. And I was like, okay, but it's a little too much, just like that. All right, we're showing up on a planet, we're launching into the thing, the Cabal are crashing into the thing. All right, let's just fucking do the whole goddamn thing over again.
Are you happy to know that the raid that they just brought back was the
Oh, I
Taken
know.
King raid?
No, because that was a raid that broke me as a
There
Destiny
are a
player.
couple of screenshots out on the web there that show the D1
I
environment
actually
versus the
saw.
D2 environment, and it's like, holy crap. Like,
So I had a lot of vodka last night and was finding my way on YouTube, and for whatever reason, that's what I was watching was a video comparison of each part of the. Right, it's interesting the way that they change the lighting
yeah. And what
on
a
them.
difference that made.
Sure, yeah,
Not
and
have everything be
obviously there's some
brown and
texture
red.
work
Yeah.
stuff that they've bumped up, but even some of the effects, like the spherical effects around
Hmm.
the what is it, the daughters or some shit.
Yes.
In the end, when you're fighting the Taken King, spoiler alert for a fucking raid from fucking 80 years
Right.
ago. Uh,
Instead of it just being a white circle around them, it actually
yeah, it was like
looks
a
like an orb. It's
shimmeringy
got depth.
orb
Yep.
with fucking dry ice looking
Yeah.
effects around it. I was like, okay, all right, that's fine. And it
And
looked like there
it's
was
one
some
of
more
those.
detail going on with Oryx's chest too. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, what's
It's
going on
one of
with
those
that?
things when you've been playing this franchise for as long as we have, or I have in this case, 7 goddamn years of my life.
It's 8.
8. Yeah. Um, that change to me was so
Sure.
incremental that like I play now and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's Destiny. It looks like Destiny. And then you see someone do a screen cap like that and you go, oh, like I remember the first time I went through King's Fall and I was like, wow, this is just like the environment was,
Yeah, that's
foreboding
cool.
and compelling and it had a theme, it was thematic to the story and everything was, and now I look at it now, I go, oh. And to do that without doing a wholesale, we're re-releasing Destiny 3 because we needed a new engine,
Mm,
is impressive.
yeah. Well, there's still time for them to do Destiny 3
Yeah.
after the end of the
And
Light and Dark saga.
yeah, there's been debates going on about whether Final Shape will be
I think
next
it'll be
gen
the
console
end.
only.
I think it'll be the end of D2.
Yeah. And that
And then
was
I
like
think there will
that's
be
the
a
debate is
D3
like
in some
people go,
form.
well, will Final Shape be the end of, Xbox One, PS4 era? And there's a lot of reasons to say sure, but
Yeah.
if it's their final entry into the franchise, that's shooting themselves in the foot to say, well,
I
if you want this last
I
chapter,
think now that they are owned by Sony, Destiny will continue,
sure.
whether you want it to or not.
Yeah, but I think Final Shape be the last will be the last entry on previous gen.
Yeah, 100%. Just like Rise of Iron was both the end of D1, but also the end of prior gen.
Correct.
A lot of people forget that fucking King's Fall Raid, people were playing this on their 360 and PS3,
Mm-hmm.
which is wild to think
Right.
about. So
They have squeezed a ton out of that. And then the other game I've been playing, I think we brought it up on our last episode, and we played a little bit afterwards, and that
yeah,
was your Turbo Golf Racing.
yeah, we played it with Daniel.
Yeah,
Actually,
and after that episode, and I was fumbling around on a keyboard, going, I don't know how to play this game. And then
but it wasn't
managed,
that. It was just like, what the fuck, you piece of shit.
right? I'd never played the game before. The controls are you very much need to have smooth analog input, especially when you're trying to aim a ball.
Yeah,
And yeah, like I still pop it on like, hey, I've got some time to kill. What are the daily challenges?
it's a
And
good
there's
game.
usually only 3.
It's a really, really strong game. If you have Game Pass, PC, or Xbox, I encourage you all to check out the super plainly named Turbo Golf
Turbo
Racing.
Golf Racing, Rocket League Golf with Friends.
It is a pleasing to look at, runs reasonably well, just a decent time with golf and greens and cars
Here's
and
what I
speed.
love the most about the game is I don't feel them reaching into my wallet every time I play it.
Yet. Remember, it's still early access.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I mean, it'd be fine. And honestly, like I feel I've had such a good time with it, and I've had such a good experience from like an hours played ratio that if they wanted to like drop the game and it was like $25, I'd be like, all right, you can
Sure.
take my money.
Sure.
You have
Or,
earned it, good
hey,
sir.
there's a cosmetic item that it will only be for purchase. Sure. Like, I don't mind throwing them a couple of bones. But yeah, there's been a few things like, oh, it takes crowns this week. Next week it takes gears. And yeah, like
I haven't noticed that, to be honest, but okay.
Yeah, like whatever in the shop there, and it rotates. It just rotates new items in. Like there was one, I think we were playing, and I looked in the shop. I'm like, yeah, nothing really looks good. And then when we were done, I went and looked again. I'm like, am I sure I don't want that ball skin? Giggity.
See, that's the sign of a good game, you know.
But I went
Like,
back in, and it was a completely different, a whole new set of trinkets.
That's how most of these free to plays do their offerings. They have a rotation selection within a store.
Yeah.
For real money or earned currency, and that's typically how a lot of games work these days.
Mm-hmm.
Kind
of like Fall Guys, That's another game that I play. It's fun, and again, I don't feel like it's reaching into my wallet every time I turn it on. Sure, is there things I would love to spend money on, like the new crossover Destiny skins?
I feel a little FOMO with Fall Guys, to be honest.
I do, but again, I do and I don't. It's like, oh yeah, he's wearing that cool rooster skin, and it's like that'd be fun, but it doesn't make him any better, faster, stronger, right?
Well, so there was the Sonic the Hedgehog event where they had an actual Sonic the Hedgehog level, and then they had exclusive skins for Sonic, or not, because Sonic's been available before because I have him. That's what I run as.
Oh, I know. I always find it funny. Way in the back with the Sonic skin, I find it just wrong.
It's a skin. He's not a hedgehog. Okay, he's a bean.
Yes, you're a Sonic furry. We get it.
No, that's gross and insulting to Sonic furry people. No, there was a Sonic Hedgehog level, which I saw, and they dropped it on was like a Friday to Monday morning type of situation, and that's not when I play with my PSN buddies. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't play it and didn't get the opportunity to play that or earn any of the exclusive skins. You know, like there's a Robotnik and a Tails and a Knuckles, I believe, and it's like I I would have liked to have maybe had an opportunity to earn that. The fact that it
Sure.
was a fucking 4-day window is like, okay, like I'm
So it
not gonna
goes.
play
Yeah.
Fall Guys by myself because that's not Fall Guys to me.
Right.
You know, like I'm not like that's dumb in my opinion. But yeah. So yeah, play a little bit of Destiny. Found myself enjoying the Witch Queen campaign, despite the fact that I literally know all the story beats and have seen playthroughs of it, which was rather weird to me. Like I was like, oh, like I'm pretty sure I go here, and I do this and stuff, but I found myself having a good time,
Mm-hmm.
which betwixes me as someone who has gone back and forth with the fucking Destiny. Fucking put a quarter in, the gumball comes out filled with crack.
Oh, Destiny is
It's
totally your jilted
fucking,
ex-girlfriend right now.
it's such a fucking bitch. But she's wearing new clothes,
Right.
and
She got the boob job.
yes,
Yeah.
but I don't know. So we'll see what happens once Daniel completes his move over to the East
Yeah.
Coast, and if I continue that journey or not.
There's been a few times already, like even this season, where I've been like, I think I'm done with Destiny. I think I'm finally done with Destiny. And then they
Didn't you see
dropped a new
that last
trailer.
episode
Yeah.
here? Yeah.
Yeah. And I was legit like, I don't know why. Like I don't find myself even being compelled to log in. And then this last weekend I was like, well, okay, let's see what the new content is. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
you did it again. You dirty, dirty whore.
The dirtiest, of course.
You bought that new fancy lingerie, didn't you?
Yeah. So speaking of new stuff or future stuff for Destiny, what did you think of the Arc 3.0, which is available now? What did you think of the Lightfall reveal?
Arc 3.0, as far as I'm concerned, is really because I main a warlock. That's it.
Me too.
I don't fuck around with the other
Me too.
classes. Um, so it really felt a lot of samey same, but a
Mm-hmm.
throwback to Destiny 1 in terms of customization.
Just a good way of putting it. See,
Right?
I found that one like grenade that does like that scatter lightning bolt thing was super awesome.
Have you
And
played with the grenades you haven't been able to play with until now? Because my warlock now has the hunter skip grenades on it. Because fuck those things.
I didn't know you could do that, but no.
You can now. And that was
Okay.
one of the things. The first thing I did was like, because I've always hated the warlock grenades. I feel like they're slow. You throw them out there, other than the arc bolt grenade, where it's like land and tag
Yeah.
3 people and do minimal damage to all 3 of them. Right?
Okay.
Oh, look, I took all of your shields away with this. But
I was a big fan of the pulse grenade in D2. I
right,
thought that
that
was pretty
everyone could
solid.
just kind of go, oh, that's over there. I'm just going to walk over here now. It
I don't
had
give a
no
fuck
range
about
on it.
PvP. I'm talking
No,
about PvE. It
even
was very
PvE, like,
it was very utilitarian. They'd walk right into it and die.
well, yeah, if you get dumb pathing, but once they got out and could scatter, it's like I throw a pulse grenade at a whatever a boss or a mini boss, and he'd be like, "Yeah, that's cool. That's going to be over there," while I teleport over here and then just keep mashing your face.
Hmm.
Right?
Oh.
Like I found that, and they just sit there and go, you know, they I've never
Throw your
really liked the
grenades better.
warlock grenades. Yeah, well, I do throw them fine. It's just the enemies just can go. That's cool, bro. I'm gonna walk over here.
Yeah.
Um, and I've always been kind of envious of the hunter scatter grenade because I mean you've seen. Oh
Sure.
look, people walk in the room. I'm just gonna blindly throw this, and they're all gonna track.
Sure.
So
I understand.
yeah,
I've played a lot of Destiny. So what'd you think of Lightfall?
I love the aesthetic.
Okay. Now, I'm going to preface this with did you watch just the trailer for Lightfall or did you see the reveal stuff where they were talking about it and showing more?
Yes, and kinda.
Okay.
I noped out of the after party probably about an hour in. So I saw some of the the deep dive into it, but I didn't. I know there was some stuff that I missed that I read up on later
Mm.
that I didn't see live.
So I saw the Lightfall trailer, and
Yes.
Lightfall for me, when it was originally announced, in my mind, I just kind of mocked it up and pegged it as, all right, that's probably when I'm going to return to Destiny, is the
Hmm.
Lightfall expansion. Um, just because in
Why
my
did they
mind,
have to use the Lightyear font though? Why did they
thank
have to?
you. Are you? I fucking made that connection, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Sony? I know
Lightyear
you're
fault.
I know you're a little bit butt buddies with Disney, but come on. Yeah, 100% use the font. Like I think I posted, I don't know if I posted it in the Discord. I posted it somewhere. I was like, what the fuck's up with this font? Because it's the same font.
Basically, yeah.
So I watched the trailer and I was immediately let down and super disappointed by the trailer. I was like, I don't like anything that they're showing me in this trailer.
Why so?
So for me, the way Lightfall had been mocked up with the previous title art and stuff for it, my assumption for Lightfall, having zero data about it, was that that was going to be the darkness has finally arrived at the Traveler. That's going to be the showdown. Maybe we'll fight brand new enemies for the first time and not fucking reskinned enemies for the 80th fucking time. Cause like I told my other Destiny friends, I was like, I just don't want to fight reskinned Cabal or uh uh
Fallen or
Hive
Hive or
or
yeah.
Fallen. I don't want to fight reskinned especially lately, now that Darkness has faces
Hmm.
right now, and it's like, okay, give me a whole bunch of them fuckers. Go to fucking town.
And they kind of did with the Tormentors.
No.
Kinda.
And
I said kinda.
and they showed in the trailer, it's like, okay, it's gonna be Cabal and it's gonna be fucking
But now they're purple.
yeah, it's gonna be royal colors because it's fucking Emperor what's his butts
Chalice, yeah.
crew. But then in the background there's a darkness dude, and it's like no. And then it has this lovely neon aesthetic, and then that bullshit, and I was like, no, that clashes. I don't want any of that. And then the trailer with like the which I now know is called Strand,
Hmm.
um like
That might
whips.
be my favorite part, being able to
well
Spidey surf
well
around
and
the
so but that I'm
environment.
saying, though, I saw that trailer out of context of the event that they were revealing this, and they show
Hmm.
this trailer, and it's like, okay, what are they doing with the whips? They can burn them, I guess, so they're like Ghost Rider. And it didn't, because it's just like a CGI trailer, right? Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
fucking matter. It's not the game. And I was like, okay, I don't want this in the Buzz Lightyear font. And I was like, no, I don't want any of that.
And why are
And
the
so I
Silverhawks
was
making a cameo?
super fucking like down on it. And then after bitching about it to my Destiny friends, they're like, okay, but did you see what you can do with Strand and you can fucking Spider-Man around? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because I didn't see that part, right?
Gotcha.
So I went back and I watched the whole fucking thing. And I saw that and I saw, okay, what the trailer really should have communicated to the people who only watched the fucking trailer was, all right, we're going to be in a brand new city on Neptune that hasn't been touched by enemy forces or the darkness yet. We're going to deal with some fucking race called Cloud Runners or some
Yeah.
shit like
The
that.
Silverhawks.
Okay. I don't know why you're calling them Silverhawks, because I'm pretty sure they call them Cloud Runners in
Again,
the
showing
thing.
my age. It was a cartoon back in the original Transformers era and Thundercats. The Silverhawks were the shiny bird Thundercats.
Okay, I didn't know that, but all
Go
right,
yeah,
sure.
go look up Silverhawks and you'll understand why I make that reference.
Okay, fair enough. Um, they show that they're gonna have this neon city, that there's gonna be
Cyberpunk
this,
Neptune, yeah.
yeah, cyberpunk Neptune, that it's undamaged, which is kind of a neat aesthetic considering the entire aesthetic of Destiny is everything is old, everything's fucked.
Hmm.
So that's cool, bold take. And that the new darkness ability, and it is a darkness ability, is called Strand, and it's
Mhm.
green, which looks like some of the concept art because I'm a big fan of some of these old ass Destiny
Right.
concept
What
arts that
everyone thought
have
was
yet
the
to come to
poison
pass.
class. Yeah.
Right. And in fact, it'll let you whip around in the air on the grappling hook. And it's like, okay, cool. Destiny is doing Doom and Halo Infinite. Okay, got it. Can't beat them, join them. I'm fine with
Right.
that. Everybody should have a grappling hook.
Actually dislike it.
Okay, well, you can get the
I
fuck
can
off
be wrong. I'm
off the
allowed to be
bus.
wrong.
Yeah. I think it's interesting since they've said that it's not, it's not like a Spider-Man web. You can throw it out and you can use it to swing on wherever.
Right.
And I'm just like, doesn't that break like
Everything.
all of D2?
Mhm.
Just saying. Just saying.
It's another
Probably
method. Well,
does.
and this was the one thing, and this is something that came up on, I want to say, a podcast yesterday. And it's like, if you thought the jumping puzzles were hard before Strand,
Oh, right. Well, that city's going to be vertical. That's why.
right?
They're going to force you to use Strand 100%.
Yeah, and it just, and that's what I like. I love the way it looks. I love the thought behind it. It's another traversal mechanic that now I'm going to just be like, I'm too old for this shit, right? I'll admit it. My thumbs ain't as good as they used to be.
Sure.
They're not even half as good as they used to be. And now to make me get around the map, I'm gonna have to uh, web sling while fighting. We don't know. Is this sling mechanic going to have a cooldown? How do you use
I
it?
would
Is it
guess.
right? Does it have sling bullets like sword bullets?
Mm-hmm. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know. But yeah, so them showing me that stuff, um, it wasn't what I wanted from an expansion called Lightfall, but I think it was a cool thing that could be fun.
It
I think
feels
that
very Rise of Iron to me.
really okay,
Like it
interesting.
doesn't fit into the full narrative. It almost feels like they put it in because they needed to make time to get to where they really wanted
Right,
to
because
go.
originally Lightfall was going to be the end, and then later they retconned that and said, all right, it's going to be Witch Queen, Lightfall, then the final
Final
shape.
shape. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's like probably the things that I thought was going to be in Lightfall, those are probably all in the final shape.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope that when the final shape does finally get revealed, probably this time next year,
Mm-hmm.
um, that it is what I want. That it's what the payoff is. I want to be fighting brand new fucking enemies. Like, get this fucking thing like over the hump, right? Because at this point, the darkness has been invading for fucking 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like,
Some form of it. Yeah.
slow ass fucking
Could
worst
could
enemy
someone could
ever.
someone pull the pull chain on the Traveler and just light him back up real quick?
Yeah, like what the fuck. Um, yeah. So I don't know. That's what I wanted. But anyway, enough about Destiny. So you play those things. I'm at 183 hours in Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Jesus.
I have not
You still
beaten it.
liking it?
I have not beaten it.
Okay.
So
Has it beaten you?
I'm at a point where
That was the right question.
yeah, it was the right question. So here's the thing. I love these fucking games. From a gameplay standpoint, I think 3 is just a shining beacon of, it's so good to play that I wish the other older games played like it does.
Okay.
Which is fine because so far that's what everybody says when every new Xenoblade comes out. Oh man, I
Mm-hmm.
wish the one before this played like this one. So it's great. Like the fact that they can continue to improve the formula that much. But I'm at a point with, like, I know for a fact because Google, I'm in the end game. I'm in the home stretch, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go knock out some of these side quests. And these side quests are like for starters, they're good. None of them are bullshitty, oh, go fetch me 5 things or kill 5 monsters of this thing. Like they've all got stories and people and characters, but then more pop up, and I'm at a point where I'm skipping dialogue, and I feel kind of bad about it because I'm pretty invested in the story in these games. And so I'm just like, another side quest? Oh, and then finishing this one popped up 3 more side quests? I'm at 183 hours in this game, Nate. Like, I feel bad saying this because every time I've played the other Xenoblade games, I'm always like, oh man, it's over. I don't want it to
hold on,
end.
because this is another debate I've been hearing, and I think it
Go,
applies to
go.
Xenoblade. Can you progress the game without going on these side quests?
Yes and no. So I have to explain something about this particular Xenoblade. So they have a classification of side quests in this game. So there's story quests. They have something called hero quests, which if anybody who's played Mass Effect 2 loyalty missions, I would
Mhm.
say they basically yoinked that from that. They have side missions and they have side quests. And then they have a 5th category, which is this thing called Collectopedia that has to do with relations and fulfilling minor
Yes.
stuff. But smartly, you don't actually have to go talk to a person. Like you have basically like a little fucking digital thing, and you can just like bloop. I finished your thing. They're like, cool, points or whatever. So I'm at a point where to progress the main story, I have to do some of these hero quests. And some of the like I did a hero quest a couple of days ago, I think when I last streamed, and it took me like 6 hours.
Mhm.
And again, I felt bad because like on the stream I was even shitting on this quest. And I was like, "Holy shit, here we go again." And it's like, okay, voice dialogue, characters, more characters being introduced. Okay, there's side quests to complete this fucking hero quest. And then I got to the end of it, it had some really fucking awesome plot twists, and I was like, oh god, but fuck, that was a good time, son of a bitch.
Sure.
Like, like
Well,
I hated the fact that it
the
took 6
debate
hours,
was,
but it
and
was good.
the debate was, is it a side quest if you have to complete it to progress the mission?
Probably not.
No, that's a
and it
quest.
and it
Don't
should have
call
just
it a side quest. Right.
well, I didn't make the game, Nate.
I know. Don't make
But
them optional.
I
Like,
fi- but I find myself in this catch 22 of I do don't want the game to end because the game is good. I'm level 97
because of course you are.
right now. The cap's 99.
Yeah.
I'm 100% going to hit that cap going into whatever the final showdown is. But it's like part of me is like I could just ignore like all the other non-important quests and just do the story quest. And in fairness, I've done that on every Xenoblade. And then later I'll go back into the side quests if I really care or if I'm
Yes.
an itch. Okay, cool. There's something left to do in the game. And so this one, I was like, okay, I'm really going to make an effort to do the side quests. And they are much, much better quality side quests. But holy fuck, I don't know how many side quests are in this game. I feel like I've done like hundreds of them at this point. And there might be 400 more. I don't know. Because there's so many quests, man. And I probably shouldn't have been surprised by the fact that there's a lot of quests. Xenoblade 1 is actually notorious for having too many quests. Has like 183 quests, but only about 25 of them are like good. Everything
Right.
else is recycled
Right.
bullshit. And these none of them so far are like recycledy. So it's like, oh man, there's like story beats and there's like cool things, and sometimes there's neat little plot twists and things and stuff. So I'm simultaneously at a point where I'm hopefully gonna finish it tomorrow on stream. But at the same time, I want it to be over, but also I don't. You know, I don't know how to. Okay, I've destroyed Nate. He looks like a fucking Batman villain. He's
Oh,
cackling right now so hard.
it's Stockholm syndrome. I want to leave this place. They hurt me so badly, but I love her. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, that's just what we were talking about with Destiny, right?
Right? Exactly.
So I don't
But
know,
instead
man.
of the old girlfriend getting new lingerie or a boob job, they sent in her little sister.
And her 20 million cousins.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I do and I don't pity you.
Yeah. Well, I think part of the problem too is this the first time I'm doing this on stream and it's new, and somehow I haven't spoiled the ending for myself yet, which is remarkable considering the game's been out a full month now. And like part of it is like I don't know. I'm just gonna stop talking about it because I'll just fucking wax poetic about it for the next hour. Gaming news. Gamescon happened. Here we go.
Yes, it did.
There is a lot to talk about. So I have pulled up an article. I'm using Games Radar.
Yes.
Everything announced at the Future Game Show at Gamescon. For those who don't know, that is basically the European E3.
Right.
It for all intents and purposes, my understanding is that the actual convention is like a full week, and it is like crazy big. Like it is ludicrously big. Just a lot of stuff, and there's been like a ton of shit announced and some big stuff announced too. So we're just gonna get into it. I don't know what format Games Radar has put this in, so we're just gonna go down the list and touch on each one as we go.
Yes.
Let me sip some booze here.
The Future Game Show started with a scintillating world premiere for The Gap. Not Old Navy, not Banana Republic, The Gap.
Oh, you're actually reading that? I scrolled by that.
Coming soon to PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. Notice last gen is not in there.
Yep. There was a debut trailer for Aliens Fireteam Elite for a DLC called Pathogen. It's upcoming super quick, August 30th, for both PlayStation and Xbox.
Right, they did not specify next gen, so.
Yeah, because it's on the game's on PS4 through 5 and Xbox One through S.
I'm just saying, for our audience, it did not specify next gen, whereas The Gap did specifically call that out.
Fair enough. I've actually played Aliens Fireteam Elite. It's actually a really good game. It's on Game Pass.
I downloaded it way back in the day when you guys were playing it so that I could play with you, and then we've never been able to hook up. So I think it's in my Steam library or my Xbox library.
I think it's still on Game Pass, you know?
Yeah.
Hit me up at some point. I don't know. I realize our gaming times between us are few and far between. But
yeah, the joys of having children.
Well, and your schedule is just whack.
With that too. Now, yeah.
Your schedule's just whack. There's a game called Hypercharged Unboxed, which I guess is a toy box shooter. It's out on PC and Nintendo Switch, and there's a...
So what is this, like Small Soldiers, the video game?
I guess? I don't know. I'm reading stuff. I'm not looking at trailers.
Okay. I'm not either. I'm looking at the image there, and that's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah,
and if that's the case,
that's
I mean, cool. That's a nice aesthetic.
Sure, why not? There's been plenty of those games.
As the action-packed trailer saw small soldiers hiding in teacups and plenty of explosions. Okay, yeah. I mean that's another shooter.
Sure. But I guess it's on Nintendo Switch, so that's the thing that not all games are. And Xbox and PlayStation are coming soon.
Nice.
Another game.
Weird. Wait, PC and Switch, and then Xbox and PlayStation coming soon. That's like covering the top and the bottom, and we'll fill in the blanks.
Well, no, because by sales, Switch is always the top.
Yes, and PC is usually the bottom. So. My metaphor still
applies.
Way
to retcon your statement into being true still. Good job.
I'm wrong often, but this time I'm holding my ground.
If you say stuff where you got to weigh out in the conversation to re-recon yourself, that's just good talk. The Case of the Golden Idol. I have no idea what the fuck this is.
And the image is not something
It looks
like
horrible.
yeah, that looks like something from my Amiga days.
Yeah, and not good, Amiga.
Like, do you type go left?
There's a demo for it. It's on PC. So check it out on Steam. It's a dynamic detective game for proper super sleuths, coming to PC in 2020.
Sure.
Oh God, are we
That
gonna
is
read
ugly
all of
looking.
these?
Yeah, we can. Snackoon.
You take this next one.
Okay, Snackoon. After that came the adorable chaos of Snackoon, a stealth exploration game. Hey, you can play a Trash Panda. You got my vote there.
Okay.
Fans of Stray looking for the next animal adventure fix should keep their eye on this one. Snackoon coming soon.
My PlayStation friends, and particularly Dame, has been like, "Yo, you gotta play Stray," the cyberpunk game with cats. And I was like, I'm not a fucking cat person.
Yeah, Cat
I
Simulator.
would not buy a game with a cat. I
Right.
don't care how much cyberpunk cool sci-fi shit is in it.
When your
But it's
gameplay
so
mechanic
good.
is cat doing cat things, you're speaking to a specific audience. And I'm a cat person. And you know what the last thing I want to do is do the same shit my cats do to me every day. I do appreciate
Fair
that there's a
enough.
modding community that I could actually have someone render my cats in the game, and
That's fucked.
right? That
That's
might
fucked.
make it fun for my girls,
Sure.
but yeah, no.
Fair enough.
I got enough cat stuff going on in my house. I don't need to play a game to escape my cats by playing a cat.
Sure. Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. The dark, gripping atmosphere of Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon descended onto the future game show, revealing gameplay from Awaken Realms Digital's open world RPG and a Steam Early Access release date of Q4 2022.
Cool. We need some more open world RPGs. I'd like to see them go back to form of the Neverwinter Nights days, where they were true RPGs.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Oh, you don't like that kind of game?
I mean, I played Neverwinter Nights back in the day, and it was just... I'm telling you, man, your memories of it are better than the game that it is.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
No, that's fine.
If you
I'm not.
revisited it today...
Do you hear me arguing with you?
No.
Would you like me to? I could.
No.
Okay. Next game on the list is Floodland, another world premiere. Vile Monarch revealed gameplay from Floodlands, the studio's post-climate apocalypse city builder. Okay. Moving on.
I was so excited. The art looks cool.
Yeah, but no.
Okay.
Hey, let's take a bunch of keywords and make a game out of it. Right? Really now?
Yeah, you heard that.
Yep.
I'm sure that's gonna be on thing. It's still going?
Hey, at least you didn't hear the fireworks I heard earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we have fireworks on, August 27th, because there's a holiday.
We still get the occasional firework during the day. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like what? Very weird.
All right. Then the last case of Benedict Fox. This was
shown at E3.
Sequel, right? Oh,
no.
Okay.
No, this was shown at E3, and it actually won an award for most look forward to game on Game Pass.
Okay.
It's a Metroidvania style game. Has fucking sick looking art.
Yeah, that's what I remember of that.
It looks fucking fantastic. Yeah, we talked about this before. Game looks cool, art looks cool, game looks fucking fantastic. A little to the left. From a psychological thriller to a cozy puzzler. Oh god. We are pleased to reveal that Max Inferno's A Little to the Left is coming. Mischievous cats and all. Oh fucking Christ. To PC and Mac.
It sounds
November
like
8th.
you've got to push things off things.
Yeah, no. I don't need that.
Then there was Goat Sim 3.
Goat Simulator 3. They abbreviated it for some reason. So, have you ever played Goat Simulator?
I have.
Oh, you have?
I have.
Did you have a wacky time?
That's all you can have with it.
Yeah.
The physics engine on that thing is so damn broken.
Oh yeah.
It's that it's
It's
almost
great.
comedic. Like it's
It's
like
fantastic.
that it's purposeful.
Yeah, that's great.
Having my goat's tongue stretched, a quarter of a mile because it's attached to a semi truck, but I'm stuck behind a picket fence.
Yeah. It's a good time. I love Goat Simulator. People should try Goat Simulator. It's fantastic.
And from the screenshot, it looks like they're actually going for some semblance of realism, and the
I
fact that it's
mean,
not coming to last gen kind of,
we'll see.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Goat Simulator, because there was no Goat Simulator 2. Or Goat Simulator 3, because there was no Goat Simulator 2.
Was there
Classic.
not?
Nope.
Shit. Okay.
Hilarious. Good stuff. Coming to PC, Xbox, Series X, and S, and PS5, November 17th. The Chant art looks kind of out there.
Yes, also not
Right.
being released on last gen. Looks like it's a horror genre, third-person horror genre. If you're into those sort of games, that'll probably be very well received because apparently the horror genre is doing very well these days.
Yeah, seems pretty safe bet.
So,
Interesting premise. Third-person horror game set on a spiritual retreat corrupted by a botched ritual,
so basically,
releasing,
the Evil Dead.
releasing all manner of horrors like creepy cultists and beasts. Yeah, I guess. Sure. Interesting. Earban.
Ur-
Shadow Legacy.
Urban,
Okay.
yes.
Another developer presentation followed from Baby Robot Games concerning Earban Shadow Legacy, the studio's stealth platformer debut. Was this at E3?
I think this was.
Yeah, there's like it actually looks like a genuine stealth game,
Hmm.
which there's fucking none of these
Right.
days. And I'm
Again,
like,
another lost genre.
yeah, like I don't know why. Like if you do stealth correctly, they're so fucking good.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess like the last one standing right now is Hitman.
Right.
Like
And even that's kind of breaking out of its shell. Like, yes, you can do stealth, but it's not the only
sure.
way, right?
Yeah,
Whereas the
especially
old days
modern
of
Hitman.
Sam Fisher,
Yeah.
stealth
Well,
was the only way.
you know,
Also, only coming to PC and Xbox. That makes me wonder if that's,
I think that's a Game Pass.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the one on D3.
Okay. Wizardry, The Five Ordeals, hardcore RPG, fans
Hey,
rejoice.
that's
Hey,
you.
that's me.
Okay.
Uh, the game is available now. Go check it out. With nothing more than that, other than
Jesus
hardcore
Christ.
RPG fans rejoice.
Okay.
Cool.
Solstice. Like with the
Huh?
soul,
Uh-huh.
because we have to have that.
Uh-huh.
A demo for Replay Game Studio Solstice available on Steam right now.
What is a Chimera Brawler?
I have no fucking idea. Is coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S on September 20th, 2022. Demo on Steam
Also,
right now.
no last gen. Cool.
Yep, seeing a trend here. Who's getting this? Me, you? Me?
You. I'm looking up what a
Okay.
Chimera Brawler is.
Oh, thanks. After Image. We've got an anime looking girl who's got a sword that's floating. Gameplay trailer for Oregon Shanghai's After Image introduces the game's gorgeous handcrafted world. After Image is coming this winter to PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
So
this
list is a little
on a
bereft
Genshin
of
thing.
details.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Deliver Us Mars. Also PC, PlayStation, Xbox. Looks like a Space Explorer.
I think it's a
Or a
psychological.
Space, yeah.
I think I saw the trailer for this. It actually looks really good. It's like a psychological
first-person, not shooter per se, but
first-person adventure game.
there you go.
Yep. Phantom Hellcat. Odd-looking art that's got like a porcelain half-face woman. In-depth look at the slasher platformer, Phantom Hellcat. Ironbird Creations creative director and his cat. Okay. Introduce some awesome theatrical gameplay. Phantom Hellcat is coming soon to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Okay, that's fine.
Edge of Sanity, Terrifying Descent into Dark, It looks like a side scroller
I mean, I don't know.
from the image. Yeah, it's tough to say.
The Fork in Your Ear podcast, where we talk about video games with the bare minimum of effort.
Well, that's the information they're giving us. I'm going to the Gamescom thing to see if there's anything. Apparently, there's Dead Island 2 is coming, and it's bloody disgusting.
Yeah. So I saw, like I said, the I saw the day one premiere Gamescom through the Game Awards,
Mhm.
and there was some interesting stuff in there. Very surprised to see the fourth developer on Dead Island 2. But they showed gameplay this time.
Right. The
And
procedural tech
yeah,
behind the new
procedural
gore
gore.
system nicknamed Flesh.
Yeah, okay. It looks goofy, it looks funny. I'm not excited for this because it's been like 15 years since Dead Island 1. And that developer moved on to Dying Light, which is a much better game.
Right.
And this is the fourth developer for Dead Island 2. I'm not saying the game doesn't look good now. I think graphically it looks great. And
Right.
the core destruction, it looks fun. It looks like it could be a really good time.
Sure.
But
GTA zombies with a good physics system.
yeah, I guess that's kind of what they're going for. It's hard to say. Let's see. We got Wired Productions. The picture looks cool.
I'm going to share.
What are we doing? Are we changing lists?
Yeah, because I don't like that list. It's
Well, we're almost done with this list.
okay. Well, continue on while I bring this up.
And you're
and we'll
right.
have
The list
something
is
else to talk.
shit. But
Yeah.
okay. Which list have we got? Best game. Okay, we're just doing IGN. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. We'll switch over to IGN. We'll skip over the stuff we already covered. Yep. Dead Island 2 looks good. When's it coming out though? Because it had a release date. I'll look it up.
Sure.
I'm just looking it up.
Yeah. And there's a game
February 3rd, 2023.
Nice.
Man,
Right.
the end of the year is going to be crowded for horror. Because
Yes.
Callisto Protocol got pushed back to mid-December. Then right after that, you got Dead Island 2. And I'm like, okay, all right. That's happening.
We're getting a Killer Clowns from Outer Space game.
Yeah, what the fuck? So
Oh,
I saw that, and they're like, there's like a dude, he walked on stage and it's like, here's a video game from a movie you never thought would get a video game movie adaptation. And I was like,
did you
what
even
the
know this
fuck?
was a movie?
I feel like I saw it at some point,
Okay.
and it's
Yeah,
just one of those things that gets
it's one of
blanked
those
out.
cult movies, B flick, and
I've seen
decidedly
a lot of B movies, but
Yeah.
unless it's like a really crazy good B movie,
like They
know,
Live. Yeah.
in the window, or Drag Me to Hell is a go-to of mine. So fucking good.
3v7 asymmetrical multiplayer game. Okay, so it's like Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Where did you, if you're using the IGN list, how did you skip over High on Life?
High on Life? I didn't. I was waiting for you to click clue on this one because I have no idea what this thing is.
So number one, it's from Justin Roiland, who is the voice actor and also the co-creator of Rick and Morty. And he has a video game studio, and they've actually made a bunch of VR games already. And this is a proper first-person shooter adventure where the guns are like aliens that like talk to you and shit. And of course, he's doing the voices for it. And it's like,
so this is a game I'm not going to play because I can't stand the voice work in Rick and Morty.
Yes, it is. It is coming to Game Pass. But they specifically went out of their way to say, nobody else has really attempted to do a Metroid Prime type game. And they said this is a Metroid Prime game with this adult comedy veneer. And I'm like,
it's on Game Pass, I'll try it.
And I'm like, you had me at Metroid.
They had you at the voice actor.
I mean, so here's the thing. I like Rick and Morty, but Justin Roiland as a voice actor only has like 3 voices,
Mm-hmm.
and it's Rick and Morty and like some other annoying ass character.
That's yeah.
I think he's good at doing that, and I do think that he's a creative person. You know, his voice range is not very big,
Sure.
which is fine.
His
But
comedic
no,
chops, on the other hand, are quite
yeah,
adept.
yeah, his
So
timing's good and all that sort of stuff. You know, like I don't have any problem with that. But I think it's interesting because his company has been making games for last 5, 8 years, something like that. And they've gotten bigger and more ambitious and more ambitious, and this looks very ambitious. And the fact that they have said that it is a Metroid Prime game, and it's like, yeah, no one, there's been a ton of Metroidvania games, which is the 2D style, but nobody has done the 3D Metroid style like ever.
right.
So the fact that they said, yeah, we're just going to do that. Nobody's done that. Cool, let's do it. And I know for a fact, because if you watch Rick and Morty, there are many, many fucking just fourth wall breaking skits where they're just trying to get Nintendo to send them free shit because of how much Justin Roiland loves. Like, there's a whole bit in like season 2 or something where they're talking about something, and like the plot of the fucking episode just stops, and they're like, yeah, it'd be sure great if Nintendo would send us this limited edition Legend of Zelda 3DS. That'd be great. I've been trying to find one, and it just fucking just stops the whole fucking show. Like, it's fucking great. So he's a huge, Nintendo fan. So I'm like, well, sure, he's got money, he's got a studio. Why not do a Metroid Prime style game? Nobody else is fucking doing one.
Why not, right?
Even Nintendo. Metroid Prime 4 announced fucking 8 years ago.
Then we have Where Winds Meet is Ghost of
Oh God.
Tsushima set in medieval China.
No.
No?
No. So it is open world, and I see that it is a love letter to Ghost of Tsushima, but it's like wild as fuck. There's like magic and fucking weird spiritual shit. Like, I saw this and I legitimately thought like it was like a Ninja Gaiden type of game.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. But I understand why people are saying it's like Ghost of Tsushima, because feudal Japan open world. It's like, okay, it's
Okay.
the de facto feudal Japan open world game. But even you look at the
Inspired by
thing.
Asian art style.
Yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
it looks really good. Like
Cool.
really, really good. And it's being made by um like some European people or something. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay, sure. Why
Well,
not? People in Seattle made Ghost of Tsushima.
right.
Why not
Why
Europeans
not?
doing and it's actually not feudal Japan, it's medieval China.
Yes,
So
that's what I said.
that is a distinction.
Yes.
Sorry.
Callisto Protocol, more than
Yeah,
just Dead Space 4. This
God,
one looks promising.
it looks really good. The team behind it is really strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much exclusively all Dead Space original crew,
Right.
including the creative director. God, it looks really good. I'm just really sad that it got delayed out of October. Like, take
It
as long as you
happens.
need. Take as
Yeah,
long as you
it
need. Make the
happens.
game. I'm just sad to not be playing what is probably going to be my next favorite sci-fi horror game in the horror month of October.
I can't wait to watch you stream it.
Oh God, that's so funny. I never even really thought about that, to be honest. Like, I am planning to do my Dead Space replay. So for those who don't know, I'm a huge Dead Space person. I replay the Dead Space games like once a year, like
Mm-hmm.
a tradition. Usually in October. I've been streaming like crazy, so I'm probably going to replay those games in October. Probably might also put in Resident Evil 3 in there, the remake of that, because I started that like way back when it came out. I never finished it, so I should go back, knock that one out. And I think that one's an easy one because I think it's only about 5 hours long.
Yeah.
And I probably
I
got to
played
like
a
the
little bit of Dead
third
Space,
hour.
and the problem was at the time that it was out, I didn't have a computer that was really capable of playing it.
Oh yeah, and the PC version's dog shit. So
Yeah.
that's also a problem. Yeah. That engine was never made to run well on PC.
Yeah. It was just it was such a
You
shit
want to
show.
know the weirdest fucking story about that game engine that they used for Dead Space?
Hmm.
So, Visceral Games, which is dead now at EA, who created a Dead Space. They were originally called EA Redwood, and their first game was the Godfather game. So they made an open world game engine. Then they did, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they did Simpsons Hit and Run, and then they went over to Dead Space. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? So your engine prior to sci-fi horror was fucking The
Yeah,
Simpsons
it was
and then
Crazy
The
Taxi. Yeah.
Godfather? What the fuck? That's so wild.
Yeah, it was such a like I loved the aesthetic, but yeah, the lighting would just glitch out and like it was so unplayable. It was I likened it to Quake 2 before you actually got a real 3D card.
Before you got a Rage or a Voodoo card?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm of that era. I know all about the cards and the Quakes and fucking.
Yeah. Yeah, trying to
I,
render
rem-
that
I
thing in
remember.
OpenGL, and it was just like, yeah, no, this
Yeah,
is not playable.
I remember my dad got this weird off-brand Mac GPU because this is back in the day when you could actually upgrade your Macs, the old fucking tan desktop towers.
Yeah.
And he got this weird off-brand GPU to play Unreal.
I want to
Right?
say it was a Matrox.
No, he had some weird off-brand shit. I remember it was like the fourth party manufacturer
Gotcha.
of GPUs. It worked most of the time. But yeah, no, I remember that, and like
It was a best value Mac GPU.
it was I think it was a newer technology GPU, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
There's some anyway, the deep cut max
Yeah.
shit. Off topic. Yeah, Callisto Protocol. It's made by the Dead Space guys. It's basically Dead Space 4.
Yeah, it looks amazing. This is one of
Yeah, it looks
those that's just
fantastic.
gonna jump scare you. And I know jump scares because like when Doom did its revival,
Oh, 3? Yeah, it scared the
yeah,
shit out of me.
I was playing that game literally at midnight in the lobby of the shooting range because
What?
I was babysitting. We were revamping the place, and so it
Okay.
was dead midnight. I've got a dead shooting range behind me, completely dark on a back alley, and I'm literally had my desk set up. I set up a desk in the front door so I could watch the parking lot, and I'm playing this game. And my screams echoed down that street with all the jump scares on
Okay,
that one.
let's
It
see,
was
2004. Hang on, I'm doing some math here.
yeah, it was old.
So I was 18. I know.
Yeah.
So I was 18 when Doom 3 came out. However, I did have the fortunate opportunity. Wasn't much of a PC gamer back then. I mean, I played PC games if they came to Mac and stuff like that. But Doom 3 had its Mac port pushed back a year. And so, because I had intended to play it on Mac at the time.
Silly
And
Mac
my
gamer.
cousin, who was a huge PC gamer and still is, just happened for some reason to be spending the summer at my folks' place, and he had just built a new PC to run Doom 3. So
Hmm.
we were playing Doom 3 in my parents' basement, which was cold, by the way. And the PC didn't have a case, so it was just fucking sitting on cardboard
I've done
with a
those. Yeah.
fucking just a big ass fucking heat sink and fan.
Yep.
Like the most jank ass shit you could fucking imagine, and we were playing that. God, I remember that because it was like it was a good time. It was a good time. It's funny. I remember being more afraid of the dark in that game than the actual. I
Yeah.
didn't think the monsters were that scary, but fuck, the
They
lighting
would
at the
find you.
time.
Yeah.
At the time.
They would find you in the least opportune moment.
Well, and you know what's fucking hilarious about that? Playing this on the super high end PC way back in 2004 and shit is you can play that exact game with better settings and graphics on Nintendo Switch
Hmm.
today than we could on that fucking giant PC we
Oh,
had open
I
up
went back
on a
on
pizza
through the
box.
Game Pass library on my PC, and I think I downloaded and started playing Quake 4,
Mm.
which was a spiritual successor to Quake 2. And it was like, loaded it up, put everything on its highest setting. I played halfway through the first level, and I'm like, this looks like trash.
Yeah, Game Pass is kind of a sweet gift because it allows you to play some things. Like it allows me to play some things that are like old that I missed. Like I
Mhm.
missed Doom 64, which is its own game.
Yes.
Like it's totally different. I played through about half of that when because I had it was a pre-order pack in for Doom Eternal,
Hmm.
and I was playing through that. And I was like, man, this is wild because it's Doom, but I've never fucking played these levels before.
Hmm.
And it's also like it's not quite Doom or Doom, the original
Right.
Doom 1 and Doom 2.
But not being able to look up in
It's
a game,
almost Quake.
like
It's
I'm
almost
playing and I'm like,
Quake.
I want to just mouse look up. No, you can't do that in this game.
That's fine. That was a 64 game. I was used to it.
Ah,
So yeah, we went on a way
yes.
tangent. I don't know where are we
Tangent.
back here.
Okay, Forspoken spell combo ranking system looks great.
So here's the thing about Forspoken. A lot of people are shitting on this because this is the one that people are shitting on because it stars an African American woman from like New York who gets transported to another world. In the trailer uh that's going around right now, she's like, "Oh my god, I fell through a world and I got these powers." And like people are like, "Oh my god, it's so cliche and I fucking hate it and it's fucking terrible and it's so fucking bullshit," or whatever. And I'm just like, who fucking cares? Like, if you were a teenage girl who fell into another world, that's exactly what you would fucking say.
Right.
You moron.
Hey,
Um,
folks. Quick little side note. Just because you have an opinion doesn't mean you have to tell everyone.
yeah, or you know that you're right. But yeah, no, a lot of people have been shitting on Forspoken, and I've been telling people don't fucking sleep on Forspoken.
Sure.
The team that is making it is the team that finished and completed the product that is Final Fantasy 15
Right.
that had a dope combat system. So I'm like, if they're doing their own thing, unconstrained from Final Fantasy, and this is a team that ships playable games on time, I'm I'm telling you,
Yeah.
don't sleep on it. It's probably gonna be really good. You know, I mean, if the dialogue makes you cringe, look elsewhere. Jesus, it's
Right.
simple as that.
Just don't play it.
So this was a bit of a surprise. This was a world premiere game called Lies of P, which is a fucking weird name in my
Hmm.
opinion. I was watching this trailer in the premiere and I was like, "Oh my god, this is a Bloodborne sequel." Because it looks Bloodborne as fuck. It's a sequel that all the fans of Bloodborne who say Bloodborne's the best fucking game ever invented since fucking Christ invented
Hmm.
bread or whatever, um, have wanted. Except it's made by it's like its own thing, but it is a Bloodborne. It's a Bloodborne game that's not Bloodborne. Just like Callisto Protocol is a Dead Space game that's not Dead Space. It looks frankly kind of great. It's a Victorian era, a little steampunky.
Hmm.
Um,
Retelling
looks
of Pinocchio.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about because I didn't really get what the story was in the trailer. I watched the trailer and it's like gameplay. I'm like, okay, that's good, strong. Let's start off with gameplay, showing that the game actually exists. I'm always a big fan of that instead of some CGI bullshit.
Right.
And then they showed it basically looking exactly like Bloodborne. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's a Victorian era steampunk Bloodborne. Okay. The fact that it's a dark retelling of Pinocchio, I'm just like, what?
Because why not?
Sure. Sure. Why not? Um, so this is baffling, and I actually have more data on this. So CNET has way more data on the DualSense Edge,
Mhm.
which is Sony's official pro controller.
So yeah,
To
the
Yeah,
PlayStation Controller Elite.
yeah, basically this is their answer to it. Some of the things are a little bizarre.
It looks comfy.
So I talked this over with Dame, because Dame has a Scuff controller.
Hmm.
And for those who don't know, that's a customized, basically pro controller. And he has one for PlayStation
Right.
because that's how the man plays. Um, his complaint of the official pro controller for PlayStation 5 is that there's only
Paddles. Yeah.
two paddles.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need 4. He's like,
Hmm.
give me 4. I need 4. And I was like, okay. So
To which
that's
I
his
say is better than the 0 that you've had.
true, except for him because he has a Scuff.
Right. I have 4. I mainly use 2.
Oh, you have an Elite?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Have we talked about that? You have an Elite 1 or 2?
2
Oh, nice.
and 1 actually, but
Oh, well, look at you with your fancy little Elites. Okay.
these are actually my Elite 1 paddles because I like the longer paddles.
Oh, nice. They fit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so then my question to you then on that is, what the fuck do you use the paddles for?
Buttons.
I know that. You fucking...
Mostly
the drinks
jump.
I'm drinking right now are not strong enough for this level of bullshit because I'm tired and you're on your night schedule, so you're fucking awake and
I'm wide
wily
awake,
and ready
yeah.
to go. I see you up there with your knee propped up. Some fucking horse shit.
But no, like
seltzer. I'm gonna start drinking straight vodka here in a minute.
Yeah, if you're trying to move and jump at the same time, your current controller, you have to take your finger off the thumbstick to push a button where I can keep my. No,
I claw, man. I'll claw if I have to.
Yeah, I can't do that. You see these old arthritic hands? They don't do that. But yeah, mostly I
didn't mean to laugh. I didn't expect you to claw arthritic hands up in my
jump and
face.
crouch on my 2 main paddles, and then I have, like, in this case, the finisher.
Mm-hmm.
Because instead of clicking down on my left thumbstick, it's a lot easier to not, break the focus. And
Interesting.
yeah, I can run and turn and pull the finisher at the same time. So like stuff like that. In what was it? Turbo Golf Racing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had my boost button, so I could still aim and camera move at the same time without having to take my thumb off the other thumbstick.
Okay.
So, yeah.
To
It does come in handy to have, it's just another way to keep your thumbs on the sticks and still push buttons, for those of us that are old geriatric and can't claw.
Yeah. So an odd thing about this Pro controller,
What are those things under the sticks?
So those are release catches because the front, the black portion there covering the sticks, flips up. And the whole goddamn stick module can slide out.
Okay.
To be changed.
Oh, that's what you were talking about with the stick drift.
Instead of the I made a joke about it.
Yeah.
Because the way
which I'm pissed. My Elite 2 is the first controller I've ever had that I'm now getting stick drift.
The first stick drift I've ever had, apart from N64 controllers, is my fucking my Xbox anniversary controller. I've complained about it all year because it started doing it to me on Elden Ring. And I had I just got it in Christmas, and
yeah, thankfully it's not on my aim stick. It's on my movement stick.
Anyways, stick drift fucking sucks, folks. Don't let it happen to you. But anyway, I made a joke because the way the Xbox Elite controller works is the sticks magnetically pop out.
Yes.
Of the actual pad, but the actual mechanism inside the device is still
correct,
soldered on.
Yeah.
The way
you're literally moving the tops, not the actual ball itself.
Yeah, the way this is shown both in the video and CNET revealed is the entire box slides out.
Okay.
To be changed. The only detail that they had on that wasn't in the presentation was that's how they changed their different stick things. So you're swapping out an entirely the entire fucking module, so they have a
Right.
unique connector of some kind,
Okay.
as opposed to it being
So
soldered.
you can actually get, custom made where your y-axis tension could be stronger than your or your x-axis tension,
Maybe. We
potentially,
don't know
right?
for sure.
But yeah, you could instead of printing a dial and having you could buy a stiffer stick if you so
Maybe.
desired.
We
That I mean,
we
that's the
we
only
don't
reason
we
you.
don't know.
Yeah, that would be the only reason you'd want to switch out the whole module.
I mean, again, my joke is that this is how you fix stick drift with replaceable fucking
Sure,
thumbstick modules,
sure.
which is wild
Hmm.
because you'd think, uh, technologically wise, we could fucking solve this problem,
Sure.
you know? And it's weird because like there's a whole bunch of stuff about it. I've seen some stuff on Digital Foundry. I've seen some stuff on iFixit and stuff regarding how these work. Um, Basically, there are two rotating pots that are controlling your different axes.
Hmm.
And then there's a stick mechanism, which isn't really attached to anything. And
Hmm.
all you're doing is moving these two different rotating pots. And that's how analog control sticks work.
Hmm. Just like your old analog mice used to work. It was a ball and two rollers.
Yeah, actually, I mean, God, I hope our audience knows what a fucking mouse ball roller is.
Right. They've had the joy of twisting off the bottom of their mouse and cleaning their balls in public.
Yeah, sure. If you want to get dirty about it, because the ball's dirty and you need to
Yes.
clean it.
And whatever like amount of cat had amassed itself on the rollers themselves.
Sure, if you had a cat, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. There's no price, there's no release date. Um, when Gamescom first started, I debated with Dame that it would probably be a comparable price to the Elite. But, and I'm going to touch on this now because it wasn't announced at Gamescom.
Hmm.
Sony,
Is Sony being Sony?
two things happened with Sony this week during Gamescom. Number one, they are getting sued by the European Union for 5 billion euros for overcharging on the
Mm-hmm.
price difference between PS4 and PS5 games
Mm-hmm.
on a digital marketplace, which they control.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Good.
I
Yeah.
think is fair.
Yep.
Um, Number
Well,
two,
I fully agree with why they're suing. Because again, if you buy a game on PS4 and it's $60, and you buy a PS4 version of that game on PS5 and it's $70, the fuck?
yeah, point in case, when I got my PS5 this
Yeah.
year, I purchased Horizon 2 Forbidden West on my PlayStation 4 for $60, which had a free upgrade to PS5.
Sure.
I did not need to pay that extra $10.
Right. But anyone that didn't have that
Correct.
paid $70 for a
That's
PS4 version of the game, not a
for the PS.
PS5.
No, you're getting it backwards.
Okay.
$70 for the PS5 version.
Okay.
Cut and simple. $60 for PS4. If you bought it on PS4,
Right.
it's $60. If you bought it on PS5, it's 70. If you buy it on PS5, you do get the PS4 version, but you cannot access the discounted price. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why that's happening.
See, and I realize, a lot of economists have been talking about this for a long time, that video game prices have not gone up in a long, long, long time. And perhaps they're overdue. And if
Well,
Sony had just bit the bullet and said, all right, all games are
that's
70.
that's not true. And let's go back to Destiny. The next release that's coming out is actually increased by $10.
Okay.
Yeah, across all the SKUs. So
Okay. Well,
maybe that precedent is finally being set, is all I'm saying. But
yeah.
that's the way you do it. Like,
It might be forced to be set by the
yeah.
European Union. We'll see. And then As if things could not get worse for Sony camp. And honestly, this kind of news is not fucking surprising to me. And I know, uh, our friend of the show and co-creator of the show, actually, Damian Newman, loves his PS5 and has had nothing but good times. And I've had real fucking mixed results on my PS5. Really, really, really mixed results. I have purchased other controllers. I've purchased additional equipment to remedy problems
Right.
I have with the actual design of the device. And in every country except for North America, PlayStation is raising the price of the PS5 by $50 across all models. Raising. We're
Because
2 years into a console generation
right.
with a console you can't find easily,
Right.
and they're raising the price and they expect to stay in the race. Yo, you can't have a reasonably competitive price that you start because you know you can't go high again because of the PS3 era, and then a couple years into, people can't even find your product. And if they can, in my case, it might be fucking jacked up.
Right.
And expect people to not go, fuck, why wouldn't I spend $300 for an Xbox Series S that I can literally go out and get right now?
Right.
Or why wouldn't I just jump into, bite the bullet and go into PC gaming?
Right.
You know?
Or all of the above. Let's just get Game Pass and we can play on
Yeah.
my old gen, and the one, if I can eventually get one, this is where I'm sitting currently. If I can eventually get one, I'll get a Xbox Series whatever, and I have my PC.
Yeah. And it's so funny because, like I
It's
said,
funny as I'm looking at our two screens, and you have a very blue aesthetic to yours, and I have a very green aesthetic to mine. As we get into this debate,
we'll see about that.
are you switching? Are you officially switching over to Team Green? Is that what I'm? He's gone Hulk.
What are you talking about?
He's gone Hulk.
Got one rogue orange light pack there. There we go. Okay.
Fork fam. Tim K.
Yep.
Trotter is officially Team Green.
I've always been Team Green. I don't know why everybody is surprised by this.
Well, you've taken your shots at us Xbox folk, and
Yeah,
rightfully
last gen,
so. Yeah,
when
and
they
rightfully
fucked
so.
it up.
Yeah.
But this generation, man, it's a struggle to find mistakes that Team Xbox is making.
Right.
Because they're not, man, they're firing on all fucking cylinders.
Okay,
And
can you unhulk now?
no, we're going green now. Finally, I found something that annoyed you. Let's go. Because the true winner of the generation is Nintendo. I've changed to red now because the Switch is fantastic. But yeah, now I'll go back. That's fine. What is it? There we go.
No, that's too blue.
Oh. Yeah, no. That's the normal fork default, and then I change the light that's over here.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So yeah, like I have to say, like, there is no reason to own a PlayStation 5 unless
How many PS5 exclusives are there currently?
I was about to get to that. I was like saying, unless you absolutely have to play a remake of Demon Souls, a game called Returnal, or the latest Ratchet and Clank game. Because God of War, allegedly coming at the end of the year, is still launching on PS4.
Yeah.
Which is a marquee title from them.
I'm not compelled.
And it's funny because everybody knows I have a PlayStation group super tight with. Some of them have been on the show. Just playing with them and them having problems with just playing with me on their PS4s when I have the newer PS5, from mic problems to disconnect problems to all the problems that you've seen on my streams on Tuesday nights. They're like, yeah, we don't need to get a PlayStation 5. Like, why?
Right.
What is the reason? Why do I need to move? So I load slower and my
Right.
games don't look quite as good and the frame rate's a little worse. So,
But I can play.
yeah, I can play, you know, and generally play with less issues than I can.
Right.
And
And
it's like, okay,
it's not like on your PS5 you get 60 frames per second. On your PS4 you get 12. No, it's I get 30 to 35 frames on my
sure.
PS4.
Yeah,
I
well,
get
and a lot of them have PS4 Pros, so
right.
they're still getting 60 even then,
They're right.
and it's like, okay,
Occasionally they drop to, 48 frames.
I Sony, man, this PlayStation era has just been the biggest fucking clusterfuck
And then
since the
they raise the
PS3 era.
prices.
And
And
I
then they
keep saying
raise the
this.
prices. Like what the
Yeah, it's unprecedented, true.
yeah.
Like, so this tells me
I get
Sony,
supply and demand, and there's still demand,
sure,
but that's not the answer. You
but
put some supply out.
isn't the demand going down from all of the bad press
Yeah.
or just bad word of mouth? Like, if I, and I didn't want to, like, I didn't go out intentionally being like, hey, the PS5 is a piece of shit.
I mean,
I
well,
said some things
I mean,
at
that makes me
teardowns.
question again. Let's
That's
look at
true.
it from an economic standpoint. Where their margins that threadbare
Yeah,
that they now
I guess
need
so.
to up the price just to like when we can sell them, we actually need to make some money on them now.
I guess. I guess. You know.
Like and we said this way back when
Well, look at it from
the
the other.
series when the new series of Xboxes were coming out, and I told you I'm like Microsoft will be able to sell at a loss because of
Always.
Game Pass.
Well, because they're Microsoft.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even specifically in that market space, because of Game Pass, they will be able to sell at a loss. Like,
Mhm.
there's no way that Sony's going to be able to compete, and Sony tried. So
Yep.
maybe this is the result of that bad. Like, they got beat.
Perhaps.
They got beat.
Well, look at it this way: Sony's doing other things that are not in the PlayStation division. They're re-releasing Spider-Man: No Way Home More Fun Edition to theaters this September. What the fuck is that about?
Money grab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no shit. With their biggest property that they miraculously own, at least the movie rights to.
Yeah.
And it's like there's going to be zero reason to have the PS5 really until Spider-Man 2, the video game.
Right.
And it's like,
And
okay.
especially, and like, here's a knock-on effect of we're about to get the next gen of GPUs coming
Mhm.
out.
Yeah, RDNA 3 is right around the corner.
Right? And the 40 series NVIDIA GPUs
Yep.
are coming out.
Uh-huh.
What do you think that's going to do to the 30 series?
Sure.
And
Especially if it's supposedly like 75% better, which is
right,
an insane percentage jumpage, by the way.
which is fine. Is there
Yeah.
a game out there now that needs a 40 series or
No.
right to compete with a console? Because that was always the comparison. Consoles could always do less or could do more with less.
True. And they still can.
Right.
But again,
But
if PC's going to leap,
when your 30 series GPUs are going to drop,
sure.
it's going to make that market much more accessible to people and much more enticing to people when they can't get a PS5.
Sure, because it's comparable
Right.
to the Series X and the PS5.
Now,
Because
price wise, too.
they're
Yeah.
built on the same tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was always and that's what took me
It's a
so
shame.
long to get back into the PC gaming realm was like, I can buy a console for
Well,
$400 that can do 10 times more than a PC I could build at the same price range.
well, and look what just came out. It was the Spider-Man PS4 game on PC.
Right.
And guess what's coming out next month? The remaster of the remaster of the remaster of The Last of Us Part 1.
Right. So,
Also coming to PC a month later.
I
But it's
and
like, yo,
as much as I might be an Xbox fanboy, right? Let's
sure.
be clear on that. I have a preference there, and it's not that I hate Sony for any reason. I just can see the writing on the wall, and I guarantee you they're not going to go by the way of the Dreamcast. But
Mm, no, I
they're
mean
they're really
they've got a long fight, but they're a bleeding shark
yeah.
in the water right now. And
Yeah, I could see a Dreamcast future for them.
well, I mean, the first thing that would go, right?
Hmm.
They'd sell Spider-Man back to Disney.
Okay. Yeah.
Be like $400 billion,
Right.
and they would go, okay.
Hey, Xbox, do you really still want Bungie?
I mean,
Or
no,
just sell it outright to Epic since they already collabed?
ew.
You heard about that one, right?
Them trying to sell them to Epic?
Destiny 2 is now available in the Epic Store.
Oh no, I knew that.
Yeah.
But that was always because Sony
Yeah. But
has stock
yeah,
in
again.
Epic,
Yeah.
which
So
is
they already
fine.
have a collab. Like
Sure.
Epic, just take this off our hands, please.
But yeah,
We're
man,
losing money.
Sony, it's so insane to me that they were so on top in the PS4 era compared to Xbox, and now it's just so fucking reversed.
And being again
It's rough.
the Xbox wonk here, they were so on top for all the wrong reasons. They were so on top because they made these um, exclusivity contracts for even hey, we're Destiny being a perfect example. Destiny is available everywhere, but if you get on PlayStation, you get
Sure.
this map, you get this mission, you get this
The
weapon
guns,
for a
yep.
whole year. Like, how many times have they done that with franchises where they were the
Sure.
exclusive provider for something by being a gatekeeper?
So another thing that came out recently too that's more bad press for Sony is apparently when they make contracts with game developers, they have a you can't put this game on Game Pass clause in them.
Yes. Yeah, that
And I was like,
was
what?
yeah.
I was like, that's crazy.
And again, it makes sense in a business world.
Sure.
And there was a
I
reason
get the
that people
business
flocked
mind.
to him. It's like if I can play this game at 90% everywhere else, but I can play it for 100% of the game over here for the same price
Mhm.
at the same quality, why wouldn't I go over there?
Yeah,
Right? That's
it's crazy. It's crazy.
so
You
they've
know,
done things so underhanded and for the longest time that they thought they could keep getting away with it. And unfortunately,
sure.
everyone kind of caught on and went, Sony, stop doing this. But how are you supposed to make our money?
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't.
Yeah. And the fact that they've raised prices, that's just indicative of the fact that their strategy is not
Yeah.
working.
Yep.
It's just not. Like that's huge. It's almost as huge as the fact that EA is for sale. Did you know about that?
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly top picks are Apple and Amazon. I actually saw an article on our bio
I'm
break
really surprised Microsoft's not in that mix, considering they already have a tie-in with
because
Game Pass.
they haven't closed
Unless there's
they haven't closed the
already
deal
right, but I
with
mean,
Activision Blizzard.
well, no, the EA stuff, like the EA Play, is part of Game Pass.
Oh yeah, because they have that collab there. Yeah.
Right. Like, unless that's part of the package deal when they sell.
Oh, hard to say. But I saw on our bio break that the report was that Apple had pulled out of not buying EA, but Amazon was still interested.
Sure.
And I could see that lateral move to
Sure.
Amazon.
Amazon's been
Amazon's
trying. Like,
probably a little better set up for it than Apple for that acquisition. What?
yeah.
Does that mean you have a controller, Nate?
No. I played it on my phone. And the game was Control. And it looked amazing. And it played
Oh,
well. I was like, wow. And but it's the only game service that actually gets by my corporate's firewalled Wi-Fi.
I thought you were doing Stadia at work.
No, they blocked it. They blocked
So
Stadia.
so you
They
had to
blocked
move
Game
to
Pass.
Luna?
And it was
Okay.
just something came up. It was like, hey, this is available on Luna. I'm like, okay, click. I was redeeming something on Twitch.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, okay, Luna loads. Luna plays. Like, and it's Control. Control's a
Well,
beautiful game.
it is a beautiful game. 100%.
So, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I figured their tech for Luna was probably pretty good with Amazon servers plus, Twitch tech,
sure.
ultra low latency. Um, it's just they're trying to punch into a crowded market,
Right.
you know. So, yeah, I don't know. God, are we ever gonna get to this list? Fucking controller.
And we've only been
Uh,
at this for almost 3 hours, Tim.
I'm just gonna
Not
power
including
through.
the bio break. I want to
Uh,
see this one. Recreation. That
what?
I'm interested.
Oh, I was gonna
Burnout
say,
Paradise, you can build yourself. That speaks to me on so many levels. That's Hot
uh,
Wheels, right?
yeah, 100%. But you also skipped Moonbreaker.
I'm not interested in Moonbreaker.
So I have to say this to drive a knife into Daniel. So Daniel is huge into Subnautica, and he
Mhm.
really, really wished that the next Subnautica would be a new Subnautica that had co-op, so me and him can play it.
Okay.
Moonbreaker is made by the Subnautica guys, and it's a Warhammer fucking turn-based
It's a
tactical
tabletop,
art,
yeah.
tactical tabletop RPG. And I was like, "Look, Daniel, they're not making it multiplayer."
Yeah,
He's like, "God damn it!" The game actually doesn't look too bad. I'm not gonna lie. So that's cool that they're doing something different than their Subnautica fame, which I'm sure they'll return to at some point, given that that's a pretty popular game. But yeah, back to your point, Recreation, Burnout Paradise, but you can build yourself by X Criterion developers
right.
who made Burnout Paradise, and I'm like,
I'm
go
interested.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah, developer Three Fields Entertainment. Yeah, I'm
right. They
down.
basically say it's Burnout Paradise and Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, that's
Like,
because guess
sign
what?
me.
Burnout Paradise is Forza Horizon.
Yeah, sign me up. That would
Yeah.
be the end of that article. So,
Oh yeah, that article short as shit.
yes, the best
Okay.
stuff we've seen.
Well, since I watched the Gamescom thing, there was a release date for Sonic Frontiers.
Of course, it would be Sonic.
Yeah, they had a story trailer. The game is coming out November 8th. Game Explain on YouTube had footage and an interview with a dude who wasn't supposed to be talking about the game, but he did it anyway because whatever. Um, really curiously, and this guy is apparently a Sonic diehard who was breaking this information. He was like, "The game's good." He's like, "It's really good. It doesn't make any sense when you look at it and you're not playing it, because open world and Sonic and puzzles and shit doesn't make any sense." But he's like, "It feels good to play. It's fun. The combat's good." And they're like it. They said the only thing that worried him was that it didn't run too well. He
The
thought,
most important thing.
well, yeah, for fucking a game about, or at least starring a character that needs to move fast. He said there's still a lot of pop in, and he said the frame rate looked like it needed work. And he thought he was playing on an Xbox version. He wasn't sure, but when at the demo they handed him an Xbox controller, so for all he knew, it was maybe PC. But the scuttlebutt from the people who've actually played it is, look out, November 8th for this Sonic game, which
Okay.
is,
Well, I'm sure you're going to be all over it.
yeah, I'll be all over it. I don't, and traditionally I usually get my Sonic games on Switch. I think for this one I am probably not because of that, and it's open world, and if it's not running well now and
Right.
it comes out in a couple of months, I was like, okay, this is probably a Series X game. At
Or at least
least,
for PC. Yeah.
I mean, it would take a lot to get me to do a PC first thing when consoles are an option for me.
Sure.
Um, you know,
I get it.
yeah.
You're lazy.
I mean, yes, but also like it's just kind of a pain in the ass. Even though I've routed my setup so I can have my PC on the TV you see behind
Right.
me.
Yes.
But yeah, so Scuttlebutt is Sonic game's good. It's got a release date. Sounds like Sega's having the team hit it, whether it's fucking running good or not, which is classic Sega. So we'll see. We'll see. And yeah, that was Gamescom. Did we want to get to other things or did we want to wrap up?
I think we're good with. Oh, do you want to get to other topics?
It's up to you.
I'm good. I'm wide awake.
Cool. Well, I have probably a little bit more energy, so
Okay.
we'll try to plow
I'll let you
power.
call the ball on this one because yeah,
Yeah,
I'm working.
yeah.
Life topic. I'm working graveyard shifts now. I'm waking up at 8 o'clock at night to go to work, and I'm falling asleep at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, so you got lots of energy.
Oh yeah.
You got morning energy.
Oh God, yes.
Cool. Sweet. Well, let's spin the thing. Air. Have we landed on air yet?
Yeah, that's video games.
God damn it. All right. See, this is the
Right?
problem with the ring
No?
system, kids. I don't know. Are you
Yes.
looking at the thing?
Yes, that's it. I'm looking at it. You see me looking at it? I'm looking at it. It's right here.
I just see you point off camera. That doesn't mean
There.
anything.
It's right there.
Fire. Fire is definitely life.
Life stories. Well, I just told you my life story.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, I'm working graveyards. I'm
Yeah.
fucking tired all the time because I'm sleeping during the day, waking up at night. But I'm doing important work, so yay.
Fair enough. My life stuff is my body hates me.
Well, yes,
Last
as
weekend,
evidenced by that elephant growing off the side of your face.
sure. That's just normal body hating me stuff. No, my like fucking I was having some problems walking last weekend, and like my fucking spine was fucking atrocious to the point where I went and saw the doc Monday, and he was just like, well, your spine's good. Your muscle around your like last vertebrae is like inflamed as fuck. I was like, cool.
Welcome to your late 30s.
But why? Why?
Because welcome to your late 30s. This is when that happens.
And he's like, I don't know. I sit.
Like, I don't complain
keep an
about
eye
these
on
things.
it.
I can't move my left arm past this right now.
Cool.
Because this is what you're in for. This is what happens when you get old.
Thanks.
Things start ripping, tearing, inflaming, swelling.
It's dumb.
We
It's
weren't
fucking
meant to live
stupid.
this long.
Okay, maybe you weren't, but I'm still at least 35.
Sure, you were supposed to have maybe 5 years left in you. That's how this whole thing worked. And then, we went, oh, hey, modern medicine. We can live to 60 now. Oh, we can live to 70, 80, 90.
Okay, well, no.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the thing. I'm doing fine now.
I mean, I'm glad I'm alive.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was weird, especially because like the last week was not particularly stressful on work. And I know it can be because my job can be rather physical.
Right.
And so it was a little bit like, what the fuck is happening? And it was like going out on the weekend, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm not doing anything except playing fucking Xenoblade. What the fuck?
I was like, I streamed the other day. I actually streamed Minecraft Dungeons with my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Both of them.
you had me on a real roller coaster there. I streamed the other day. Oh my god.
The delivery was part of that.
I streamed Minecraft. Oh, you piece of shit. Dungeons. Okay, well, that's a little bit better.
With my daughter.
Okay, it's cute.
Daughters. At one point in time, I had both daughters in my lap. I'm trying to play the game.
Oh my god.
It was great. But I've realized that I have maybe a 3-hour limit of being able to game now, to sit down and game in a session before my traps just start burning. And I'm like, I can't even, I can't hold the controller anymore. I've got to put it down.
See, I'm telling you, get one of them arm thingies, Lay in bed, have the split controller Joy-Con from the Switch, and you can be comfortable.
Can't stream that. That's what I'm saying. Like my streaming career. This is
Your streaming career that's been non-existent for the last year?
you know what? Fuck you. I want to get back into it. And then I thought I
Okay.
streamed and I'm like, is this it? This is my life. I can't do more than a 3-hour stream at any point in time. Okay. So be it. It fits the metrics.
Sure. You know, well, I mean, how long a break do you need after the 3-hour stream before you think you can do another? I guess would be the question.
Another 3 hours? I don't know. Like I've
Okay.
taken an hour off and come back and I've been able to game, but I don't know that I've done any significant time after that.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
welcome to your late 30s.
Cool.
As someone that's in their late 40s, it's not going to get any better. Invest in ice packs.
I have ice packs, actually, a lot of them.
Yeah.
They're in the freezer behind me.
Don't do what my coworker did. He invested in Icy Hot. Apparently, one of his sons.
No, Icy Hot's a fucking scam.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Well, one of his sons apparently
days.
bathes in it because he plays sports, and he comes home, he takes a shower, and he bathes in he Icy Hots his shoulder. So apparently, he Icy Hotted his shoulder, and then overdid it. So he took a towel off the rack and wiped it off.
Okay.
Hung the towel back up. So my coworker.
Okay.
It's bedtime routine. His daughter goes, takes a bath, comes out, dries off with the towel, dries all the way off, including sensitive bits.
Wow.
Next time she goes to urinate, everything burns.
Yikes.
Right? Coworkers freaking out. Who touched you? What's going on? What did you eat? Where did you sit? What's right? Ends up going to the ER. Nothing wrong. All the tests come back clean. He comes home and he's like, finally, I get to go to bed. Splashes some water in his face, grabs the towel, wipes his face, and goes, why does this smell like this is fucking Icy Hot?
Jesus.
Yeah.
What a story.
Right?
Oh my God. Yeah, no. I've just been trying to be more liberal with baths that have bath salts of muscle relaxing variety.
Yeah, Epsom salts are great. Tiger Balm if you're going to use any sort of rub.
So I used to do Tiger Balm a lot. It was fantastic, but then my lovely body decided to get a new allergy to that and break out in hives.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Right? Because I actually use Tiger Balm. I use Tiger Balm.
The red and the white, right?
I have orange. What are you talking about?
That's the red. Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't
there
know
is a
white one.
There's a white one. It's not quite as extra strength.
Okay.
And it also doesn't stain your clothes.
Oh, I've never had it.
Yeah, Tiger Balm is it's actually from Malaysia area, Indonesia.
Yeah, camel floor, and it's got those fucking spices in it and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah,
and
it's good stuff. And it does work.
Being
my body
being
says
half
no.
Indonesian myself, we were using that stuff.
What aren't you half of? Jesus Christ, Nate.
Well, quarter Indonesian, half German, quarter Dutch, quarter
every
Indonesian.
show you're like, yeah, no, I got German. Yeah, no, I got Japanese. Yeah, no, I got Indonesian. Yeah, I got human in me.
Yeah. But no, my family has had Tiger Balm before it was on shelves.
Sure.
So that was a mainstay for us.
Yeah. Well,
I was happy when you could actually find it on shelves and I didn't have to go buy it at the whatever Indonesian, corner store down in the middle of LA.
I can only find it at Target up here. I don't know why.
You'd be glad you can find it at all. But see if they have the white blend. Okay. Or if anything, see if you can find it on Amazon.
Is it actually white? Because you're referring to the orange one as red.
Yes.
So it's just a white packaging version?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'll have
worth a try.
Let's get the white. Because the white actually...
Either that or tea tree oil works really well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, I was using tea tree oil before.
And then, of course, Arnica Montana. Okay. I don't know if you're using that as well.
I don't know what that is. It sounds like a Hannah Montana spinoff.
Yes, Arnica Gel.
No idea.
Okay.
But
Ask me like tomorrow when you wake up and you go, what were these things you wanted me to try to make my pain
I'm
go
not gonna
away?
do that. I'm gonna fucking play Xenoblade and maybe edit the podcast.
Okay. No, I'm
It's
saying
Sunday.
tomorrow when you wake
It
up
is my
after you've
it
done
is
with all
my
this stuff.
me day. It's my wifeless day. It's my no responsibilities day, except for maybe dishes.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that,
Yeah, my
so
wife
we
is gone. My wife is gone right now, and so are my children. And that's
oh,
another reason I'm so energetic because I know when I
Jesus
walk out of
Christ,
here,
that's so fucking sad.
I can
Uh,
run around my house naked.
fair enough. So the garbage disposal shit the bed, and we
Oh, that's an
replaced it.
easy fix.
We replaced it today. Yeah, it was easy, but I didn't know that the motor had burnt out. So I did the thing. I checked the power. Power wasn't working, so I was like, okay, bring the cord reel in. Okay, the motor's not coming in on an extension cord. Okay,
Hmm.
what's going on here? Then pulled. It was actually Brock's. Pulled a bunch of fucking pistachio shells out of the ring on the fucking motor side. And I was like,
Okay.
God fucking
Yeah.
damn it. How long have these been here? They're black. Um
It's better
Figured
than
out
pulling. It's better than pulling a handful of contact lenses out of the bathroom drain.
a handful of
Yes,
contact
because
lenses.
my
What are
wife
you
goes,
talking about?
I'm done with my contacts and drops them in the sink.
Bro,
Yeah, bro,
that is
that was almost
they
grounds for divorce.
those don't
They
they
don't.
they, they can't
Correct.
because
In fact, they
they're
harden.
hydroglide
Yeah.
fucking
They harden back up when they're not in your
yeah.
eyes. Yeah. Yeah. You think you have fights with your wife.
Damn.
I have evidence. I pull up a clop of hair with contact lenses sitting on top of them. I go, this is why our drains don't work.
Dang. So the worst offense of my contact lenses that I've done, because I swap between contact and glasses all the time because I'm fucking getting older. Um,
I'm not ever doing contacts because I can't stick my fingers in my eyes.
oh yeah, I hear that's a thing for people. I've had no problem with that.
Well, that and again, the job with the chemicals and stuff. It's a bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
the burning ones. Yeah, I use the burning kind.
Yeah.
And occasionally blind myself from time to time.
It's
It's
not
a
worth
good
it.
rinse. What are you talking about? It just takes the layer down. It's just like it's the same as acetone, man.
No.
Anyways, no, the worst offender I'll do is in taking my contacts out when they're done. Um, my sink is like 3 human body lengths away from the garbage can.
Sure.
And so I'll stand at my sink, take the contacts out, and then flick them at the garbage can. And because my contacts are out, my aim might not be so goddamn good.
Sure.
And they'll occasionally get on the floor and they'll dry out, and the wife will be like, "What the
It's
fuck are
fine.
these?"
Like I like throw them in the toilet. At least that's got a bigger
Ew,
throat.
no.
Well, no, like use contacts. If you're gonna throw them in the garbage, throw them in the toilet. Whatever. They're going away, right?
No, don't throw them in the toilet. That's a terrible idea.
It is. But if you're gonna throw them in the sink or throw them in the toilet, throw them in the toilet.
I guess that's better.
Yes. At least they'll
Not
make
by
it
a
through the
lot.
drain and into the sewage. And then that's someone
Maybe.
else's problem. That's a NIMBY thing.
It's the NIMBY?
Yes, not in my backyard.
Okay, I haven't heard that acronym before.
Oh,
But okay. Fair enough. It's a NIMBY thing. I was like, who the fuck is NIMBY? What does he have to do with it?
Not in my backyard.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Like, see, I feel for that. So I did my day job a while ago. I did a sewage treatment facility. And I
Mhm.
saw how that
Oh, yeah.
happens. It was kind of horrifying,
Uh-huh.
yet also kind of cool.
Right.
You know, it all flows into this ludicrously large container, and it gets
With the big swirlies on it, right?
it gets macerated to fuck.
Yeah.
Then it gets chemically sterilized.
Yep.
Then refiltered back into the water.
Mhm.
And then away it goes into your tap.
Yep.
And I was like, oh.
Mhm.
And I remember asking the guys, like, and that's like safe?
Yep.
they're like, yep, it is. Because at that point, and then by the time it reaches you, because it goes through some other places
Yep.
other than the maceration thing,
And
it is
sterilization and bacterialization
back to
and yeah.
water
Yep.
again.
That's how it worked before we
It's
were here.
wild.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just saw it and I was like, what the fuck
But
happens
yeah,
in this
like
room?
there's literally I have a water reclamation plant on my way to work. I see it every day. I see the swirlies and I see the water tumbler where they aerate everything.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff. I
Yeah.
remember asking him because the facility was pretty large, but I didn't think it was that big. And I was like, what do you guys handle? And he was like, the county.
Yeah.
And I was like, our county's kind of large, dude. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yep.
That's
Well, you
crazy.
heard about what they were doing in New York, right? Where they have
No,
the CDC comes and just samples the water,
oh, I didn't know that.
and that's how they've been monitoring COVID cases, and apparently have found out there was a polio outbreak in New York City because they're testing
Jeez.
the wastewater.
Okay.
And it's completely agnostic data. It doesn't care. It's poop flowing down a chute, and
Hmm.
they monitor it over time, and they go, oh, we're now pulling up more polio variant from wastewater.
Hmm.
There's an outbreak going on here.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Now that took a left turn into the sewage systems of
Right.
America. Talk about NIMBY
Talk
specific.
about life. It's shitty. But yeah,
Nothing good
other
in
than
your
you
life?
getting in meaningless, needless fights with your wife, like, and then just how's work been doing for you?
Uh, it's okay. Friday was
I mean, I've noticed you've been streaming less, so I'm figuring you're probably getting back to a break even.
a break even.
Yes, where your work life balance is getting more work than life. Back to where
Um,
you were before, where you
kind of. I don't know. I mean, if you really want to know, Fork Fam, without going into too crazy specifics, basically there's a thing Friday, and I thought this fucking card access guy was a fucking idiot.
this what?
Card
Oh, card
access,
access. Yes. Okay.
and
Fob type thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, access control, whatever you want to call
Yes.
it. And because we would run around this stuff for this college that we're doing, and we finished this job like 3 months ago or something. So it's like, how the fuck have you guys A, not figured out, B, not done your jobs, C, why do you not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Um, and it was interesting because even though we were calling the guy an idiot, at some point, he was talking about working with a specific automatic door unit that we had there, and he was used to wiring it this one way that some other automatic door guy had shown him, and it was like
Wearing it?
wiring it.
Oh, wiring it. Okay. Sorry.
Wiring.
Sorry. I heard wearing. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
so I can't have my badge at my hip anymore? I have to put it around my neck? And he
Oh
had a
my
problem.
god. Okay.
Hence me not hearing it right. Wiring. Okay.
Yeah. If you can tell the disdain in my voice, Fork Fam, and the just elation in Nate's voice, you can tell the disparaging gap between energy levels in tonight's show. It's pretty fucking palpable. Basically, he'd never learned the right way to wire this particular unit that's been around for a long time. And we were trying to tell him that way, and then the way that he was familiar with doing was indeed an ass backwards way that does work and how we did do it. But once we got to that point that what he was familiar with was the ass backwards way, like the way you shouldn't do it but can do it,
He's the
we were
bane of all coders, is what
we
he
were
is.
we were finally able to talk on the same wavelength, and he was actually kind of a nice guy. But before that point, it was just fucking pure frustration.
Right.
and then it was
But I've been doing it this way for 5 years and it's always worked. And you're like, yes, well, you're right. It does work that way. It's not the right way.
well, and not only that, the way that he was describing was just like I was trying to see how he arrived, like how you were expecting the automatic door to do what? It
Open when
doesn't
I walk up to it.
do that.
I expect the door to open when I
Um,
fob in.
yeah, well, you can't do that in the state. Um, it's fob and then enables a push plate. That's the legal way it's done in the state. Maybe it's different in California. I know you guys got some
Okay.
wacky
No,
ass
no, no, no,
specific
no.
codes
Yeah,
over there.
we might have something
You do.
different,
You
but
have your
yeah.
own push plate. Did you know that?
Yes.
The little
hate them.
tall, super tall push plate goes
Yeah,
to the bottom
and they
of the floor.
wobble.
Yeah.
Like
When the guys who
you could spit wad them and they'll still open.
no, I don't know about that, but sure, maybe it's a strong.
But
enough spit wad.
apparently we can't get any automatic doors on our exterior
What?
that open outward. There's some
What?
weird code, like
What do you mean?
access control doors have to open inward, or sorry, the push plate doors. I don't know, because we've been trying to get them. We have access control for the entire plant except for the one specific area that I work.
That
You know,
sounds really bizarre.
where all the parts are and documentation is and test data is, and we're the only
That's
one
really
that's not
weird.
access controlled.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Well, this is why I don't have a business license in California because
Right.
it's a bullshit down there.
You'd have to let me know because yeah, all those doors that we go through that have that problem open outwards. All the doors that have access control open inwards.
It's weird.
So
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know, man, on that one. Anything else going on in life? Oh, I sold the old laptop that used to record this show to my father. And then
okay.
he proceeded to get an SSD upgrade for it. He didn't know how to do, so of course I did it. And now he's fine. So,
One of the best upgrades you can do if you have an
yeah.
old dying laptop, computer, whatever.
It wasn't actually dying when I sold it.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like one of those is like it's so outdated. Put an SSD in it and maybe a little more RAM in it. It probably do just fine.
Yeah, no. That laptop, for all intents and purposes, aside from being a 2011 Intel,
Mm-hmm.
is tip-top shape. Got a new battery, got a new SSD. It always had the max amount of RAM it could handle.
Right.
So that was fine.
Let's see if you can.
But yeah.
The only other life thing I have is my oldest daughter has officially started kindergarten, so she's in the school system, and that's a little weird.
Hmm.
Like they're growing up. She's 5,
Dang.
right? I
Here.
think when I met you, she wasn't born yet.
You know, one of my good friends, Jay, the cinematographer or videographer, who I often bring up on this show because he has wild antics. When I hung out with him, and I think I talked about it on the show, we went and saw Nope, and I had a fucking thing called a Shark Bowl at Applebee's or whatever, which is way too much alcohol.
Okay.
I didn't expect it to be like a fucking mixing bowl full of fucking booze. It's delicious though. I've actually joked to my wife we'll be going someplace. I'll be like, man, I could go for a shark bowl right now. Anyways, but no, I bring up Jay because you talk about, one of your daughters having not been born, and I've known him for like fucking 17 years now or
Yeah.
something like that. And like we were at Applebee's at the end of the night, and he was just like, "Fuck, have I known you longer than I've had kids?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, that's disgusting, man." He's like, "Fuck."
I'm at that age now where I have friends from high school that are grandparents.
Yikes.
Yeah, yeah. My
Well,
friends' kids have had kids that are older than my kids.
yeah, no, I have a bunch of friends
Like,
who are of similar age, but their kids are like fucking almost 13 or whatever
yeah,
now. I mean, Brock's kid is like 11,
right.
which is insane to think about. Um, yeah, time moves on, and then you ponder them and become old and wizened,
And
and you'll
very gray.
either yeah, and very gray. And if you work nights, apparently have a lot of energy at 12 fucking 25 a.m. in the morning.
While consuming a bottle of wine, which I've only
Oh
gotten
yeah,
halfway
I
through.
forgot. I
Yeah,
forgot you're drinking wine. Dang,
to
just
kill this off.
yeah, just a regular
Since we're getting to
regular
the end of the
California.
show here.
Yeah, I think the last topic's technology. Fuck, did we have anything in there?
Samsung did their thing, and they're releasing the new folds and
Could have
flips,
sworn we
and
talked about that on the last show.
yeah, maybe we did. No, we
I'm
did. Yeah, we did
pretty
talk about it.
sure
Yeah,
we
because
done
we did definitely
did.
talk about the watch.
Yes. Um,
Bueller.
the thing that I posted was the things that we did talk about, but we didn't talk about it on the show. Was we didn't talk about the M2 MacBook Airs that I have, my
Yes.
watch band mistake, and yeah, and I noticed that Apple Maps for iOS users got a stealth major update
Oh yes.
to their interface.
Which, again,
Yeah, you
I
don't care
don't.
about. That's fine.
Yeah.
So there
But
you go.
yeah,
I mean,
let's talk about the watch band mistake. You did you salvage them? I want to see one.
no,
Oh, you threw them away.
they disintegrated,
Oh, I thought they just swelled up.
and then they disintegrated. Yeah. So, for
Fork fam.
those at home, and this
It's a
was
cautionary tale.
at the beginning of August, this was a $150 mistake for products that I have had since 2015, mind you. Um, I have many Apple Watch bands, and I have worn them all a shitload. And when you wear Apple Watch bands for a shitload of years, you know,
They get kind of stank. Yeah.
especially because I have a white one, or
Yeah.
had a white one. And then you find out, you go to like order them, and they're like, "Oh, they don't actually make this color anymore." Son of a
Right.
bitch.
Maybe
Um,
I should clean these.
no. So what happened was, I had seen a variety of things from Reddit to Google to different articles talking about how to clean your Apple watch bands, specifically the sport bands,
Mm-hmm.
which are made of the chemical resistant polymer elastomer
Mm-hmm.
material. That so far, fucking for being from 2015, have held up pretty fucking goddamn well, and they've been in all kinds of environments, cuts, bruises, all kinds of things,
You don't work
and
in my job.
chemicals, and
Yeah.
all
You don't
kinds of
work in
shit,
my job.
fucking shavings, everything, fire. Um, they've been on fire a couple of times, um, and they were fine. Arm hairs, not so much. And between this amalgamation of data, for whatever reason, I had settled on this one particular article that said you can clean the Apple Watch bands and get them back to pristine color by dunking them in uh, acetone and, well, the specific thing was nail polish remover, which is acetone for
Acetone. Yeah.
those at home. It's pretty much
Or
just straight
it's
acetone.
acetone or benzene, one of the two. Yeah.
And so I had a mixture of acetone and like 99 point whatever percent grade um, medical alcohol.
Yeah. Isopropyl. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I had a mixture in. And to the article's credit, as soon as I dunked them in, they did get pretty dang clean. And so I thought,
If I leave
well,
them in longer, they'll get really
yeah,
clean.
yeah, that is what I thought. And I came back about an hour and a half, 2 hours later.
And they'd been on the
And
Schwarzenegger workout.
yeah,
They got swole.
they were Mr. Universe, all right. There you go. Old
Like
reference.
you showed me
Old
the
reference.
picture. I'm like, this is what I did to my watch bands. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
Like,
you did.
not getting the reference.
The pictures I sent did not have
Well, you had the
accurate.
drain as the reference, but not
Yeah.
knowing that it was a drain as a reference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was the Grinch's heart. It grew 3 times that day.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Oh, they did. And then I went, oh no, and I feverishly took them out, and then they started to crumble in my hands, just disintegrate into whatever the fuck elastomer disintegrates into. And I was like, oh, for those curious, and I probably should take a screenshot in retrospect. So I have my new watch band on. Nate can see this in the camera. It's not
Yes.
actually white, by the way.
Let's see.
Um,
But it's white. Or is it a gray with a
it
black?
is not white.
Okay.
It's like a eggshell kind of white.
Okay.
Whatever. But this part here, I'm showing on camera, which is the
clasp.
The mechanism that
The
slides
interface. The interface to
that
the
slides
watch itself.
into the metal body. So I didn't know that this mechanism here underneath is a straight stainless steel rod
Mm-hmm.
until I disintegrated these bands. Yeah. So, anyways, I destroyed my original black uh Gen 1 Apple Watch band. I destroyed my white
Was that white?
Apple
It
Watch
looked like a
band.
lime green.
Oh, in the picture it was a lime green.
Okay.
And that actually this band here, which
Mhm.
is I'm showing on camera to Nate right now. I have whatever the current Nike sport band its fucking
Sure.
colors called. It's like fucking Arctic and
Right.
charcoal or some shit, whatever the fuck it's called. But
Jordan Freeze.
I had a band just like this. And for those at home, there's basically just a bunch of holes in it for breathing. I prefer that at work because I sweat.
My watch on.
But the one I'm wearing now is white and then black is actually on the underside and then in the dots. And then my original band was black on the outside and then bright neon Nike green, which then turned into kind of a faded ass mint color when it grew 3 sizes. It ate the Grinch, so to speak. Yeah, so I destroyed that, and I had a couple other bands in there too. And fucking it just sucked because what I ended up doing, because basically what this meant was I did not have a watch band for work on Monday. And I was like, fuck, I need to order something ASAP so I can wear the watch because I have fucked myself. Well, I had one other band, but it was a really nice leather from the original collection that's still in good condition. That obviously I didn't put in acetone because it's fucking leather. But I didn't want to wear that to work because I was like, it's leather. If I get fucking grease on it, that'll stain for sure. No,
Right.
no. So I ordered a cheapy band that looked identical, but then also fell apart pretty fucking fast. And I was like, okay, it was a couple bucks on Amazon. I guess it's fine. Made it through the day. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to buy official bands because I know they will last a ridiculously long time.
As long
they're
as you don't
$50 fucking dollars.
As long as you don't drop them in the Joker vat.
Yeah. Well, you know. was gonna make a Rick and Morty joke there, but you haven't seen the episode, so never mind.
I
Okay,
spared you.
there's an episode literally called the Vat of Acid episode. And it's fucking fantastic. It's a fantastic piece of satire on vats of acid. But yeah, so I bought 3 new bands to replace the ones that got fucking destroyed, and it was a $150 mistake, and I will now never do it again. And for those at home who Google and it says acetone,
Say
don't
no. Say no.
fucking do it.
Say
Yeah.
no,
there
no,
you
no,
go.
no, no.
No. It's fucking bad. It was not good.
Vinegar and baking soda.
You think that would have worked better?
Yeah.
You think
That's
so?
like the standard. We restore coins with vinegar and baking soda.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, so that was a thing that I did that I regretted.
Mistakes were made, like arguing with your wife.
Yeah, you bring that up. But it was a playful argument, not like the last 3 months have been. Yeah. What were those other things? We had I have M2 MacBook Airs for work now. They are fucking fantastic.
Of
And
course
they are
they are.
so good. And I like legitimately in my head am like, man, could I get away with doing the show on a fucking MacBook Air? I got one for my personal use.
You probably could.
I probably could. Probably could.
They're pretty steady machines.
Yeah, it's just odd because it's a fanless design. And it's like, man.
Well, I mean, as long as you can, keep the AC on in your office and keep things temperate.
I mean, I don't have AC in my day job office. They're fine. But I'm also not doing anything beyond web browsing, email,
Exactly.
word processing, Excel, some PDF manipulation, pictures, occasionally rendering a 4K video down to 40p so it'll fit in an email, which it's really fast at, I might add. God damn. It's like zip. It's like, oh,
That's done.
okay.
Oh, it's like,
Cool.
yeah, that little dongle you sent me to pull the files off my SD card. Yeah. Ooh, wow.
Yeah. Good time. So yeah, those considering the MacBook Air, for those on the fence about it, we did ending up changing our order from 256 gigabyte to 512.
Yes.
Specifically because everybody and their mother tech-wise had said, yo, the speed's pretty fucking gank.
Yep.
On the 256.
Yeah, we did mention that.
And honestly, I've done a little bit of at-home testing between my M1 that has a 512 and the M2. And yeah, the M2 just fucking smokes anything and everything. And you know what's something that's weird that I didn't expect to see is when I'm using this Mac, the M1, and I'm just like moving my mouse around, I noticed that it's not quite as smooth as on the M2. And I'm just like, oh man, I guess everything's just a little bit crisper and smoother and higher frame rate here and stuff.
Like everywhere.
Yeah, just everywhere. No, it's pretty fantastic. I was initially concerned about the design when I pulled it out of the box because it has pretty substantial 4 foot pads, which is very un-Apple like. And I was like, oh man, this laptop. Whoops. What did I do?
I don't know. You're fine.
You went widescreen for me for some reason. I hit something on my keyboard because I was holding up my keyboard to the camera here. And the fucking laptop is thinner than the fucking thinnest point on this fucking keyboard. Like the whole laptop with the fucking lid closed and shit. And I was like, when I initially pulled it out, I was like, I feel like I'm gonna break this damn thing. But alas, it's super fucking sturdy, which I was surprised by because the feet come off a good quarter-inch off the ground.
Nice.
I don't know whether that's just for they wanted to do bigger feet or if it's for some thermal reason since it doesn't have a fan, but so it goes.
I would think it was more
Yeah,
thermal than anything else.
I
Yeah.
I would think so too. But yeah, no, they're fantastic, and man, it really does make a case of like, well, you want a good M2 machine, you don't want to spend a lot of money. You may not need to get a MacBook Pro
Hmm.
because the fucking Airs are fucking beefy as shit on the inside.
Right. Yeah, if
Um,
you're never gonna push them to that thermal footprint, you're
right.
fine getting an Air.
I think if you're not doing a sustained workload,
Well, and even if you are, just knowing that that's a limitation and you keep them in a
sure.
cooler area, like, hey, I'm gonna be rendering a bunch of stuff. Turn the air conditioner on in my
Yeah,
office.
well, like for example, probably the hardest thing I'm ever asking of the computer is have my Word doc, my Excel PDF, maybe I've got something on a label writer. I've got stuff open on the web browser and I've got my email open and then I'm asking it to convert a 4K video
Right.
shot on an iPhone 13 Pro, so it's got all the fucking HDRs
So
and all
yeah,
the
I'm just
shit.
checking my email. I'm browsing Google, and I'm trying to render a 4K video.
Well, the most I'll
I
ask
love
of it
that
is
that's just passe for you.
well now. Because it sure shit wasn't before. I'll be like, all right, I'll check back in a couple hours. But no, it'll be like a 10-minute video for like job site completion videos or something and stuff.
Right.
And I'll be like, okay, well, it's got to fit in a fucking 35 megabyte email limit. Thanks, Microsoft. I wasn't doing it you. My
No, I
emails are
know. That's
my emails are at live. And it'll just crank out that fucking video down to 40p and just no time flat, and even then I don't notice a hiccup in it. So I suppose if you're doing something longer than 10 minutes or something like that, maybe it might get a little
right. Like
toasty and a
if you
little
were encoding a
throttly.
podcast or, you know, trying to render
I
your
don't know. I feel like it would probably handle a podcast pretty good because the
sure.
M1 already handles it pretty good. Like when I encode a podcast, assuming I do my due diligence and combine files into single files, and there's not like 18 different files within the episode.
Right.
I can usually encode our episode if it's like 4 hours in like 5-10ish minutes.
Sure.
And that's pretty fucking good because I remember on the old Intel, the one that I sold, I'd be like, okay, hit the encode. All right, I'm gonna go make a sandwich. I'm gonna watch a TV show. We're gonna
Wow.
check
Okay.
on it to make sure that it's not fucking shit out at some point.
I've never had an encode take more than like 5 minutes.
Well, you have to understand that the prior laptop was a 2011
No, I get it.
Intel i5
I get
that
it.
only had an Intel integrated graphics chip.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I had. That's all it was working with. I was asking to convert and actually our show sizes have decreased because we changed formats recently this year. But like our show
I was gonna
size,
say, like, our show sizes should not have haven't decreased because we've been doing twice the content in half the time. All right,
yeah,
we're
no,
every 2 weeks, but now
our
we're
actual,
consistently go over the 3 hour mark.
yeah, unfortunately. Look at me.
Stop
You don't
being
want
so
to.
long winded.
I'll stop being long-winded, Grandpa, when your fucking stories don't take 30 minutes to tell. Anyways, I just what the fuck was I saying? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm
Yeah.
at the point where I'm rambly.
Yes.
So I think it's the end of the show. I think it's the end of the show.
I think so too. So yeah, sign-outs. You can find Tim at Tim_K or Tim_T on Twitter, and Tim K.
Yep.
Trotter on Twitch.
Yeah, there's some underscores in the Twitch one.
Oh, Tim_K_Trotter.
Mhm.
There you go.
Because somehow the other one was taken.
Right? Because Tim Trotter, that bastard.
Right? Who the fuck?
At least the guy that has my handle is a nice guy.
Yeah, you keep talking.
And where can they find me, Tim?
You know, in California.
Come on. Besides in the Discord, because yeah.
On Twitter, you'd be GGN8 Foo.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. And pretty sure Whiskey Podcast website's still up.
Yes, at Whiskey P.
At Whiskey P. And the whiskey is spelled what is it? WHISKE?
SKIEE.
SKIE.
Like Wookiee, but whiskey.
Okay. And no O's.
No O's, yes.
Like a Wookiee with no O's.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying to get that back off the ground, but life has been absolutely brutal for the Whiskey Podcast. We haven't put out an episode in almost 6 months, and the last one we recorded was just lost to time. So
yeah, that sucks, man.
Yeah, it happens.
And then you have a Twitch. And I actually am I subscribed to your Twitch?
I can't be subscribed to. I'm not affiliate yet. So
well, you can subscribe to me and I'm not affiliate. Follow. Pardon me for not knowing the fucking Twitch nomenclature.
There you go. Yeah, you can follow me at N8FOO.
Christ. But no, am I actually following you? I think I am.
You should be, because you pop in on a regular
so.
basis.
N8. Okay, well, Twitch just broke. That's great.
The episode where Nate finds out how much friends he is with his co-host.
Damn, you get savage when you have had sleep. Did you know that?
Yeah, I follow all of your, 27 Twitter accounts.
That's even the porn one?
Even the porn one.
Oh, damn. That's surprising. Very shocking.
Good porn's hard to find.
What the fuck? Is Twitch down? Like, it's fucking straight up broken.
I have no idea.
I can't search for shit on my app right now. Cool.
It's a sign. You should go to bed.
Yeah, you know how salty my eyes are? They're so salty right now. I'm not even making a joke. Like, they just get so salty. Like the. All
right, Fork fam.
Like, we go on. See, Nate's trying to wrap up now.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I am your co-host, Nate Fu, and our host, Tim K, author and podcaster, Tim K. Trotter.
Thank you.
Signing off.
Get forked.
Get forked.
Thank you for listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
Dominic Armato, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
The Citadel, Arrival, is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel, A Rival by author Tim K.A. Trotter, available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Let's see. Thing says it's recording.
Yep, and I'm recording on my end.
I see the meters moving.
Yep, and I boosted myself up so audio issues. Although I do hear
Cool.
some background that I'm not used to hearing.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hope that doesn't make it in the final recording.
No, I'm talking
'Cause
about on my
that's-
end, not yours.
Oh, really? Because I
Yeah.
have one of my my RAID arrays is running.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I
Because it-
moved my fan over when I bumped up my gain on this end. Oh, I can hear room noise. Monitor.
Oh yeah, I usually can too. So as long as your gain's good. Yeah, no, I have a RAID that was supposed to have been done around 8:30.
Hey.
I heard that.
Yeah.
That was sharp.
Okay, let's turn that down a bit. That helps.
What was that?
Feedback from my headset.
Why the hell? Well, that's no good.
Yeah, I don't have any. Nope, nothing. Out. Speakers.
So you're good?
Good as I'm gonna be.
Okay. Well, as long as the gain problem's fixed, because like I said, I did everything I could. And Scotty said that she can't be boosted no more, Captain.
Gotcha. Well, as long as I'm not overdriven, I've got us both bumped up probably a notch higher than I'm used to. So
Okay.
that should make a difference. If not, I can also like try to add some gain on my end.
Oh, do a
Do a boost pass.
a render gain output.
Yeah.
So then when it gets received.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll play that by ear.
So you're saying you don't hear anything different on my end?
I hear a little like maybe you're running a fan in the background and it's only when you hit the gate.
Yeah, it's right. It's right over here. Like I said, I have a RAID array.
Yeah. It's not. It's
I had
not
a rather
distracting.
catastrophic Mac
Yeah.
fuck up yesterday. So, which I'm sure we can talk about.
It's what we call in the biz audio texture.
Sure. It'll hopefully be done in about an hour, as it says here on the bottom.
Oh, cool. So we'll
On
have
the
something
transfer.
different in the later half of the episode when it goes quiet. People go,
Yeah.
now that it's not there, I notice it.
I mean, I'll let people know. Wiener Schnitzel?
Ah, yes.
Okay. That's fine. I've actually eaten at one of those because we have one of those here. Wife made me eat at it.
That's my guilty wife and kids are out of town food, so
It's okay.
because no one
Are
else
your
in
wife and kids out of town?
well, the wife is, and the kids are over with Grammy and Ian.
Okay.
So that's stories for life.
Okay, sure. Oh, I should
Get what?
off the ring. It sits up.
Yeah.
It sits up like hanging. Actually, it hangs right here.
Oh,
That's
clever.
where it's kept. Yeah, since I got this particular boom,
More audio texture.
because
Yeah.
this thing would always get fucking and be like, "Where
Right.
is it?
There. Yeah.
It's showtime."
I've got all sorts of places I can hang things from. You know.
Yeah.
You notice
Yeah.
Deadpool isn't humping my mic anymore.
Had I noticed that at some point?
Yeah, because he was
Probably.
stuck to my mic stem at one
Okay.
point when the mic was the other
It might be
configuration.
because your video is particularly crisp tonight.
Oh yes, I have my lighting on point tonight. I have the overhead
Oh, okay.
light, the
Maybe
front light.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. The only thing I wanted to grab before we actually started was I wanted to grab Gamescon list.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't watch.
I saw the
anything
first
on it.
night, and then that was it.
Fair.
So I don't know what else.
I
And
haven't
I saw
heard anything about it.
I saw it the first night in horror because Dame messaged me and was like, "Oh, you ready for Gamescon? Are you gonna stream it?" And in my head calendar was like, it's 3 p.m. PST is when Gamescon is. I've just gotten home from work and I'm not ready to do that, so probably not. And then his response was, "Yo, it's starting right now." And it was like 11 a.m. or some shit. And
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I've been sleeping during the day.
Yeah. When is it? What is it? 5 to 5 for you, or what is it
9
these
to
days?
5, 9 to 5:30.
9 to 5 for sleep.
Oh no, that's work right now. 9 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. So it's yeah, I'm
okay.
on that graveyard now.
Okay, I knew that, but I thought your sleep schedule was.
No.
Okay, what's your sleep schedule then? Like 6:30, 7 to.
When the kids leave, so typically 8 to 4.
Okay.
Lately, it's been like 10 to 6.
Okay, we're gonna
Oh,
use.
Gamescon is still going on.
Yeah, apparently. Well, I'm gonna use this list, and I hope it's good.
Which list are you going off of?
I am sending you the link shortly using Games Radar. It's the first Google result that didn't sound like a piece of shit.
Gotcha. I have an IGN.
Okay. Well, we can.
Multiple sources are fine. Just
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Cool. Sure.
this isn't everything announced. There we go. Okay, that works better.
The Games Radar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's current since it says 3 days ago. We'll see. Okay. I don't know why the Skype settings are still open.
I don't either.
Okay.
There we
The application. Okay. All right. I think everything's working. I won't know for sure until I check my files.
go.
I had to reinstall. I had to
Everything.
reinstall some things today. Well, yes, everything. We did a fresh OS with a time machine restore, but then different system privileges and then different applications that needed reinstallation and shit. It was a pretty bad crash. It fucked all of my SSDs.
So this is
Which
your new system?
No,
Oh, good. Okay.
no.
Like,
New
that
systems
would have
for
been
work.
very disappointing.
New systems for work.
Okay,
Then specifically purchased by work for work.
gotcha.
Had I not been able to get this up and running, I might have used that in an emergency capacity. Would have been like, all right, you're recording everything tonight, Nate.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, that's actually why the RAID array is on, is because my logic files are not up yet.
Oh boy.
They've been working on it for the last 5 hours, and they were supposed to have been done an hour ago, and of course they're not. So it's a whole thing.
Oh boy. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but I made, at the very least, Skype and my audio hijack are perhaps functioning nominally. All right, let's do this.
What you drinking?
Oh, just fucking Corona seltzer. Yeah.
I don't
so
know
we're
that I'm going to make it through without a bio break.
Okay. Do you need to do a bio break?
I think we need to do a bio break because
Okay, well,
this is going to be a chunky
bio
one.
break. I feel like I could do a bio break too. So let's actually cut the show.
Yes.
Right here, and we'll just do a full cut, and then I can also check the previous hour and see if it was running.
Sweet.
So let's do a cut out in 3, 2, 1.
Cut out. Cool. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm back. You're not. Oh, hey. Yeah. Quick question. I didn't cut my feed, my recording. So I can cut it and we can get separate files, or I can give you one contiguous and you'll just have to find the blank space and the cut ins. Okay. Looking at my thermostat, the rest of the house is 72, but I'm in my office with the door closed, so my office is not 72. Yeah. So we're kind of in the same sweltering boat. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. You froze for a sec. Yes. How dare you? Well, I mean, my audio is less important.
Audio hijack is running again. So, yeah.
I'm going to open my office door and let some of the conditioned air into the office.
Okay.
Which also means I'll be letting some of the unconditioned cats into the office.
Those dang cats. All right, we ready for a cut
It's
in?
fine as long as they don't walk across my soundboard.
You can't promise that.
I turned down the sound pad so I can hit them all I want without them making noise, but I can't
So
promise.
stupid.
What?
You're just hitting them for no reason and they're not making sound.
Yes.
Okay.
That's proving a point. But yeah, I can't promise
Okay.
they won't walk over the record button.
Fair enough. What is that red thing on the top of the bookshelf? It looks like a part of a fucking like old school 1960s fridge.
Oh, it's an old school 1960s fridge. It's a beverage fridge.
Oh, shit. I was like, that's what it looks like to me. But is it?
Ein Minuten bitte.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh shit. He's pulling it down, folks. I'll be damned. Dang. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, it'll hold 6 cans, 4 bottles, AC and DC powered. So if I wanted to bring that into my car, I could. And
Why are you
chill
talking
beverages.
when you know I'm not back at the thing?
I saw your headphones on enough. You should be able to hear me. I said, no, it's a 4
I have
bottles
to
or
keep
6
I have to
cans.
keep these low because I'm so close to the microphone.
Okay. Yeah,
Something
no,
about DC.
6 cans or 4 bottles, AC and DC powered. So if I wanted to, I could put it in my car and chill
Nice.
drinks. Yeah.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah,
that's cute.
was a white elephant Christmas gift.
That's a fucking good white elephant Christmas
Yeah.
gift.
Nobody else wanted it. I was like, hey, I've
What?
got this classic Frigidaire beverage
Yo.
fridge. And everyone was like, yeah, I'll take this, 4 CD set of Mariah Carey's greatest hits. And I'm like, okay.
No. Refrigeration costs money. Give me the refrigeration.
Yeah, I mean,
stuff.
it's not like Freon powered. It's a piezoelectric, so it
Okay.
only cools like X amount of degrees below ambient, which is
I
again.
mean, that's okay for fucking cans. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cans
When
will
I
retain
was-
the coolness, so it'll be
When I
good.
was streaming on a regular basis, that thing came in clutch for like, hey,
Oh.
I need to grab a quick beverage. Done.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can see back there.
Yeah.
A Black & Decker freezer on top, mini fridge on bottom thing that I've had for.
I don't spend that much time in my office that I need one, but yeah. I've got my wine fridge out
I had it
out in the living room, and
I had it for when I was living at home and wanted my own fucking space. And I saw it at Walmart, and it was like $90.
fair, yeah.
And yes,
Are we
it's-
back in yet or no?
Yeah, I don't know. Are we gonna cut
Okay.
in? What are we doing?
And 3, 2,
2,
1.
1. Cut in.
Okay. I don't know how much that's going to actually make the cut before the cut in,
Oh,
but at
I'm
least you
getting
have a
in
marker where you
somehow.
can find it.
I hope so.
You have
Sweet.
been recording this whole time, correct?
Oh yeah, yeah. Thanks for asking.
Okay.
Yes, I got this. All the things are rolling on my end. You empire, you. I see your coffee mug.
Yes. It might not be coffee though.
Oh, okay. Little brown.
A little red.
Oh, okay. Well, which is on. Farked.
Forked.
Get farkin' forked. That's terrible.
Roll sounds.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. Yep. All right. Am I stopping my end? Okay.